What did you say? What's up, guys?
I get that chat. Spicy.
E to the G. Hey,
T to the T.
Turn that volume down, Eric. What's wrong?
No, man, I like what. Come on now.
Somebody.
Page 27 in the operations manual.
Hey,
Austin.
we got
Austin.
Hey, Eric, do not engage. Do not engage the guest. We're supposed to pop him up magically.
Well, I'm trying to tell him to turn his volume down.
He'll learn. We're not starting until he turns that volume down right now.
I can't control him.
There we go. Damn.
Sorry, my bad.
Anyways, what's up, E?
What's up, T?
How
was your day?
Oh, another
on the water. You're back to work. You're guiding.
Another guide trip.
You seem happy, fulfilled.
Oh, dude. So I had a guide trip yesterday. Nice gentleman. I took him out last year. He caught some megas last year. He caught a couple.
I remember that guy. Yeah.
No, you don't.
No, you told me about that guy. Caught like a 7.5.
No, that was the other day.
No, that was the guy last year that caught some Janes. I know where you fished, too.
I know what you did last summer.
That's my line.
Hey,
nice try.
Not only did he give me a kick-ass tip, but he pulls out a bottle.
Of?
And he hands me it.
Tito's SmallmouthCrush. Nice, man. Dang.
Huh?
Wow.
And it's so beautifully done, I don't even want to drink it. I'm just going to, put it on display, I think.
I think you should, but we'll place bets on how long it'll be before you crack into that thing.
There you go. I'll tell you what, man, and we got part 2 tonight, the big bass swim baits with Austin coming up shortly. And I'm sure he can attest. We have some pretty kick-ass clients at times, right? It's fun. Yesterday was a great trip. They all blend together, to be honest with you. The day before was a great trip. But today, we had 35-mile-an-hour wind gusts, dude, out of the east on the Chesapeake. And guess what?
Wow.
We cracked them.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
It was something special today. So I got a trip. Well, I'm booked every day. So tomorrow, another day. Speaking of that, while we're going through your big baits for big bass, I got to rig up a couple drop shots and a few other Ned rigs for tomorroll.
Yeah, please do your thing, man. I'll run the show like normal.
As we're going through.
I'll keep things on point.
I tell you what.
You just do what you got to do. Just go about your business. Go about your day.
Hey,
turn the camera so people can watch you rig.
There you go.
That would be interesting.
So we were talking before we went live. I think Eric and I decided that we're going to try to do Tuesday nights, and then we'll do like a impromptu weekend where we may or may not save it. Remember last weekend with BTC, Brian the Carpenter?
No, the question is, do you remember what happened last Saturday with Brian the Carpenter? That's what's on everybody's mind out there in Smallmouth Crush Land. Yeah. Do you remember what happened? Because I'm all clear, Herr Commissar. I'm drinking the cafe. You made me drink last week. That was kind of crazy. I went and had a rum and coke.
I'll admit it. I got...
Upon the announcement that you shave your knuckles and toes for your side business, which is safe cracking.
What?
So you don't leave any DNA evidence?
I don't know,
There's
man.
Questions abound, man. People want to know.
And perhaps we'll answer tonight, but we have more important things to talk about. Big baits.
I'd say that's pretty important, man, to get and dive into your mind at one point, but not tonight. Let's go to the big baits.
So my point is, every Tuesday we will be here for you guys. But we can't seem to keep it going on a Thursday. Like, it's just too much right now, man.
You mean you can't? Because I'm down for it. I got the energy. I got the mojo. We'll let you off because you're guiding. You're working. You're back at it, dude. You've had you had a nice rest of 3 months where you caught up on sleep.
A lot of good fish meals have been brought home the last couple days.
Yellow perch still?
Epic day of
or
perch.
striper?
White perch, striper yesterday.
Oh, hey, hold on. Did you like the white perch or
Yes.
did you cook it yet?
Oh, yes, I cooked them.
Did you like the white perch more than the yellow perch? Which one reigned supreme?
I could not tell a difference.
And that's fair.
They're
I didn't know if
delicious.
you'd be able to. So they're both delicious.
Both
man.
delicious. I caught a snakehead. My clients caught one today.
Whoa, did you cook the snakehead? And was that your first?
That bitch got butchered up. No, I've ate them before. They're good.
Okay.
So we cleaned them up. I'm good. Freezer's getting full. And we're just making a living on the Chesapeake for a few days anyways.
Fantastic,
I'm excited. So if you guys recall, was it last week we had Austin on or 2 weeks ago?
That was last week.
Last week, okay.
I'll keep you straight, man.
Fair enough. So we're doing.
I got your back, Travis.
We're doing part 2.
That, bro.
It was intense. I took notes. I actually have on my Mac. I got a little note thing on my computer. So I was scribbling and I wrote everything down. And as soon as Austin gets this product in, as soon as I get some time, I'm gonna pick his brain, get my order for those, whatever they were even called. I don't even remember, dude. But I was excited. I'm stoked. And I think tonight I'm going to be more stoked to learn about the rat. That's why I'm rigging up tackle while you guys talk rat fishing. Let's bring our next guest on board. There he is. What's up?
Yo. Am I live?
You're live now.
Hey. Is this thing working?
He's back.
What's up, y'all? I'm hanging out. I'm in the tackle shop. Switched up the scenery. I got some big topwaters behind me. And I'm just chilling. Y'all, hey. Straight up, I ain't even tripping. Y'all are some goofballs.
Oh man. Hey, somebody just announced that BTL announced Market Live e-commerce. They have stolen our idea.
I don't even remember. No.
You're going to have to go beat up Matt Pangrak.
Are you talking to me?
Fight!
Are you talking to
It's like I just shot Travis with a stun gun. He's stunned, folks.
I don't even know. Listen, BTC.
No, BTL. Fast Talk Live, not BTC.
Oh, Matt Pangrak.
ETL and their announcement of Market Live e-commerce.
They go. I don't even know what that means, Eric. I can't have any more enemies in the industry.
I know that was growing.
I have 2 right now. One guy.
It might be a little bit bigger than that.
I'm not going to name names, but one guy texted me this weekend and said, "Hey, I don't like how you portrayed me during your last live." And I said, "Yeah, I was drinking. I'm sorry. I apologize." Another guy, Grassbed Ryan, still doesn't return my calls. Call him every day around between 2 and 3 o'clock p.m. So I have an idea, and I'm going to share it with you guys.
All right.
So I'm going to start a GoFundMe for Ryan. So we're going to raise awareness to Ryan's grass bed. Okay?
I don't think that's going to help. If your quest is to become his friend again, that would definitely bury it 20,000 feet deep. It's never coming back.
This is what I've learned, y'all, and I ain't even tripping. There's no more jealous people in the world than outdoorsmen, and I get it. Dude, people lose their minds.
I am trying to rekindle and recoup our friendship.
Yeah.
And so I thought maybe a GoFundMe. I am gonna put a big sign in Furnace Bay, probably by the weekend. That's gonna say Ryan's grass bed. Please stay back 200 feet. I'm gonna post it right in the middle.
You're in trouble now.
And then we're gonna do a GoFundMe for Ryan's grass bed.
There's no. We are gonna do one. You are gonna do
one. I'm gonna do one. We're gonna raise $1,000, and it's gonna be donated to Ryan.
Where's Furnace Bay?
It's just a big community hole, bro.
Now. I know where it is. I grew up fishing, and I'm itching to get back there. I'll stay out of Ryan's hole.
Well, he's got a waypoint for you if you need it, Travis.
Just watch. Just watch my Instagram live with all 17 viewers that he got sore about. Anyways, I'll call him again tomorrow and report back with you guys. Let's get into it. Enough of this.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? These comments are rolling in. What do we got here?
let's talk about recapping last week. You know,
yes.
I wanted to come on. I wanted to talk about, you know, choosing the right swim bait for the conditions. And I think that's so vital. You know, all the time I hear people like, hey, you know, what should I use? And I started out talking about seasonal patterns: winter, spring, summer, fall, winter. And you know, actually, believe it or not, Wired to Fish did a great lure selector chart, is what it was called. And it gave you kind of like the baits and the actions and water temperature and water conditions. And it was really great. So for a swim bait guy like me, I was like, man, that's great. Let's like do a lure selector chart. And that's what we recapped last week. We talked about in cold water, we want slow or smaller action, less action. We talked about baits like the Huddleston. We talked about baits like the Wagtail by ABT. There's a few others in that category. And then as the water gets warm, you want to pick up your action. You got your glide baits. You got your soft plastic, you know, like your Megabass mag drafts. And then once that water gets above 70, we like the serpentine baits. I had to go to the bow because I got them rigged up because I've been guiding with them. But that's the triple trout right there. I might actually bite that thing off. You ever see anyone bite through 25-pound fluorocarbon?
You got some snappers.
Yeah.
Dude. Look at them.
Like, hey, look at them chompers.
You got the whitest. You got the whitest teeth in the business.
Hey man, you're the whitest.
You mean whiter than yours? Whiter than yours, Travis?
I don't know, man.
He's gonna have a tooth competition, man.
But either way. So when the water gets warm,
check out them choppers.
That serpentine action. And so, you know, it has to do, you got to fish the conditions, man. I think the number one mistake fishermen make, and I guided a guy today out on my home lake, Lake Glenville. He said, I've been out here before. And I said, you know, what time of the year had you catch him, you know? And anyways, it was like kind of like a slow start. And he goes, well, let's go out there and fish topwater. I'm like, brother, it's 60-degree water. Like, they ain't out there eating topwater yet. You've got to fish the conditions. And anyways, we ended up getting on some good fish, and then it literally dumped 2 inches of rain on us. We got off the water. But anyways, you got to fish the conditions. So you got to think about seasonal patterns and choose or select your lure accordingly. So many people can get caught on memory, and it's easy to do. It's easy to do fish memory in shallower reservoirs because I think the fish are just hanging out in target-rich environments. Like fish only, like the thing that kills me about like what you're talking about, the upper bay, dude, those fish live in the grass year-round. Like that's what they do. In the wintertime, they live in the grass. In the spring, they live in the grass. Guess what they do in the summer? They live in the grass. But on deep highland reservoirs that are literally 200, 300 foot deep, you have nomadic pelagic offshore bait fish like herring. You got rock, you got wood, steep clay banks, 45-degree angle banks. Like the fish are always moving, and you have to fish the conditions. And I think a majority, of course, you can fish the conditions even on grass rivers and grass lakes and whatever. But either way, you've got to choose your lures accordingly. So cold water, you want to go with slower lethargic baits. And as the water temperature progresses, so does the action of the bait. You go into your glide baits, your soft swim baits, and then into your serpentine baits like a triple trout or the mighty bull shad. Love the bull shad, man. Mike Buca's my freaking guy, dude. Anyways.
Mike Buca.
Yeah, hey, man, love those serpentine guys. There's a couple that are like off the market. Man, you know what? I'll be honest. Guys, I'll be honest. Making a living in like this industry is so tough. And man, I've sold some amazing baits over the years that I wish I never would have. Like bite-sized herring, the Swarming Hornet bite-sized herring. That thing's dumb if you can get your hands on it. But Tim Farley makes the herring now, the herring swimmer. Great bait. Anyways, so you got to choose your lure based on water conditions. So a lot of people were wondering, if you're throwing these lures, how do you what?
How do you work it?
Come on now. How do you work it?
Bring the sauce, the secret sauce.
Right. So with this, y'all, this is the huge thing. What is throwing big swim baits famous for? What do you get a lot of?
Followers.
How do I turn followers into bites? So I'm going to tell you this. This is legitimate. No joke. I'm running around with Sago and the Bassmaster last year on Lanier because I live like an hour and a half from Lanier. And Chris Zaldane is crushing it. And every day he'd have like a 16, 17-pound bag. He'd run up the river and throw a big mag draft. He's a Megabass guy.
That's right.
Anyways, he's got these giants followers. He's like, oh, follower. And I'm like, oh man, I hope he catches it. And he throws it, and he'd be like, dang it. And then he'd take a methylate worm like this big.
Don't even tell me. Did he eat it?
Listen, he takes a methylate worm and throws it behind him. Easy, Travis. He says, I said, man, do you ever get those followers to bite? And he said, I never have. So listen.
Man.
This is the deal. Throwing swim baits, you're going to get followers naturally, but there are some things that I do to the baits that I think make a difference. The first thing I do, let's start with the slowest. Let's start wintertime first. So I want to talk about this bait right here, the mighty Huddleston. Now, Eric, do you notice something about that?
It's so saucy.
I got a crankbait stuck on my rod sock.
It's a June bug too. Crazy. What are the chances? That thing. That's why it's so effective.
Sorry.
That's all right.
All
Check
right.
that out. That's a rainbow trout Huddleston that I custom painted using a certain product. If you want to know about the certain product, you can call us. We carry it in our tackle shop.
That's right, folks. He's not giving up the ghost.
828-354-0250.
Let's hear that number again. I'm going to post it up.
828-354-0250. You can head over to my channel. I'm going to be custom painting a Huddleston swim bait, turning a rainbow trout into a brown trout. Tell me that ain't a brown trout, dude.
That's a brown trout, man. I'd fillet that thing up and put them in the frying pan, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, they stock our lakes with trout, with brown trout, because brown trout are all like the smallest of the salmon family, technically. So they have a super aggressive kind of demeanor about them. So they actually put the brown trout in to try to control the herring population. Well, what do I want to do in the wintertime when they're stocking all the trout? I want to throw something that matches the hatch. So I'm like, let me throw some brown trout love on it. So this is the key, though, with this. You get a lot of guys, they talk about throwing it on a 5.3 gear ratio. Here's the deal. I totally can agree with that. Because here's the deal. In the wintertime, when the fish are most lethargic, you want to be reeling this thing so slow.
All right, let's talk about something really quick. For the people unfamiliar with the Huddleston, is that a rate of fall 12 that you're throwing or 5?
Yes,
because there are different rate of falls for Huddlestons, everybody.
So the ROF, when you buy a Huddleston, it says ROF. It tells you the model number, like an 8-inch rainbow, ROF 5, ROF 12, ROF whatever. So that is the rate of fall. And that is what Ken Huddleston said. That is what it falls over the course of 10 seconds. So in the course of 10 seconds, this bait right here is a ROF 12. It'll fall 12 feet every 10 seconds. So a lot of times these trout will suspend in this water column, 15 to 20 foot of water, and I'll see the big arcs, or even now that I have Panoptics, I run Panoptics. I think everybody needs to run Panoptics. You need to be watching where those big fat fish are staging, and they're hanging out below the trout. So I like to, put it right in front of their face. I'll see where those bigger fish are hanging out in the Panoptic. I throw it down. They're hanging out in 30 foot of water. So that means for those of you who can do math, I'm going to count the bait down about 25 seconds, right? So that'd be 10 seconds for 12 foot, 20 seconds is 24, another 5 seconds for about 6. So I'm going to count it down 25 seconds, and that booger's going to be running in 30 foot of water. The big key with this bait, seriously, is you want to reel it extremely slow. It's just you want it to look like the slowest, dumbest trout out there. A huge key with this thing, I love to put smelly jelly trout flavor on it.
Remember that tournament where Byron Velvick was saucing up his?
Oh my goodness!
Remember that? That was like a moment. That was like a dawn of really the swim bait age for pro level kind of tournaments. I'd never seen anybody doing a tournament before.
Yeah, he called it his secret sauce, and he literally had a paper plate or plastic plate out, and
like a pie plate.
Yeah, and the thing is, and that's where I saw it. And Byron Velvick, no joke. Byron Velvick is one of my swim bait heroes, one of my favorite fishermen of all time. And I mean, he's handsome. He was on The Bachelor, dude. Anyways, good looking dude. Catches him on a swim bait. He's a Cali guy. Anyways, you got to put the juice on the swim bait. I love throwing the trout scent on it. It makes it more natural. The deal with this is a lot of people, the biggest mistake they make, here's the big key. You ready? do not engage your reel when you cast it. So many people
let it free fall, man. You're going to pendulum away from the structure.
That's exactly right. What happens is people throw it out there, and dude, the people I was guiding today, literally,
Hey, Travis, you got to mute if you're going to rig up, dude. Mute, because you're making a lot of noise.
So on the
I mean, come on, dude. I mean, first rule of smallmouth crush, page 37, operational manual.
Hey, so here's the deal. Even the people today, they throw their jig out there and engage their reel, and then all of a sudden that bait is swinging back to the boat. Well, I'm like, man, those fish are in those trees. Like, I want you throwing that bait and it dropping. So when I'm throwing this HUD, I want this thing to fall just like this. And here's the deal. Just like you get a lot of fish on a Kitech or an underspin, they eat it on the fall. Dude, you get so many fish to eat this thing on the fall because it looks like a fish that's diving on bait. And all of a sudden, you're creating a competitive feeding environment, which is always a necessity when you're trying to catch 100%. Big bass. So this thing's free falling. And then when it gets down there, then you start your retrieve and you're reeling it super slow. What happens is a lot of guys retrieve it and now it's coming up real fast, which isn't necessarily bad, but you really want that thing to look like it's just swimming parallel with the surface of the water, real natural, just doing its thing. You want to lather it up with your smelly jelly, man. Golly, you can literally, this thing's gotten absolutely destroyed. But man, I got like teeth marks all up in this thing. I've caught a lot of big bass. So here's the deal. A lot of people like to modify. A lot of people ask me, because here's the deal. When you think Huddleston's, what's the first name you think of? Who do you think of?
Ken Huddleston.
Okay, Ken Huddleston. But I mean, as far as like big
Matt Peters, I mean, because of Southern Trout Eaters.
Because of Southern Trout Eaters. But I think of Butch Brown.
Oh my God, sure. Well, how am I forgetting about Butch, man? Right? Yeah. I mean, so, Depth's 250. I think of Butch when I think of Depth's 250. When I think of HUDs, I kind of think of Matt Peters. But Butch absolutely. Brown, Depths.
All right. So here's the deal. A lot of people though ask, like, man, are you Butch Brown rigging it? Are you Butch Brown rigging it?
Tell people what that means for the people don't understand. Do you have one to show?
I don't because I don't believe in it. So I don't mess it. Do you have a couple Butch Brown rigged? I actually think I rigged a couple for you.
Yeah, why the fuck did you do that if you don't believe in it? God damn it.
Well, because my
bait's up.
My whole swim bait.
I'm so pissed right now. What the hell? All right, back then you didn't know.
Time out. Here's the deal.
I'm returning that shit.
No, here's the deal. Because people ask this, right? Like, here's the deal. Dude, Butch Brown's the greatest Huddleston fisherman of all time.
Fair enough.
Okay,
That's works why they call it the Butch Brown rig.
It works for him. And guess what? That means it probably works for you too. Well, the thing I can't stand, and this is why I have a problem with the swim baiters, is because they're like, if you don't do it like me, you're stupid. And
we call them the swim haters.
Yeah, well, there are a couple things. I'm glad you said swim haters because I got some other things I like to call.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because, look, to each his own, right? I mean, some people like to keep it crazy complex like I do, and some people like to throw 3 baits. I'm not hating on anybody for that.
That's right.
They shouldn't hate on me for that, right? So to each his own.
That's right. So Butch Brown rigs this, throwing a crimp wire right here, and he drills a hole in the head and then puts a treble hook in the top, because here's the deal. How do they eat swim baits?
Yeah, from the head first, generally.
That's right. So he thinks that having that hook right there at the head when they just even quick headshot it will get him pinned.
But I also think there's a secondary reason. It gives the fish less leverage once that hook pops out to throw the bait, because that's a heavy bait.
I agree. So this is my argument, though.
Talk to me.
If I'm throwing an extra heavy rod with 20 to 25 pound fluorocarbon, and I've got that big jig hook pinned a jig. Exactly right. What kind of leverage is that fish going to get?
Yeah, if you keep it tight and you move that fish to you, for sure.
That's exactly right. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna KSS, keep it simple, stupid. I'm gonna leave it how it is. I've had so many 3-pound largemouth 3-pound spots eat this bait, folded up, gone.
Well, that's crazy.
I'm like, dude, I'm not kidding. The biggest spot I've ever caught, 6 pound 4 ounces.
Yeah,
ate this bait. It had a mouth. I'm not kidding. It had a mouth. That's like the lid size of a Gatorade bottle.
Yeah, sure.
It was in its crushers. Gone.
Isn't that nuts? Because Travis has always asked me, will smallies be able to handle a bait like that? And I'm like, dude, they absolutely can.
Well, so here's the deal too. So the new HUDs, and I don't know why Huddleston did this. I kind of get it, but I don't. Here's the deal. I know why they did it. Because in California, if a fish is hooked outside the mouth, it's illegal. Well, they used to make it with a harness. In fact, if I can find my other one, look at that. Do you see that?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That's the old school. Yeah, it's tore up, but that's the old school harness on.
Oh yeah.
So guys
below.
That's right. Guys would either throw crimp wire, toothproof wire,
or braid, or
100-pound braid, double Palomar knot, and tuck it behind their pubic fins. And a lot of those fish though were getting gill hooked.
Oh, not good.
They'd eat it, and you'd set that hook, and that treble hook would literally kill them. So so they come out with, they're just like, you know what? Let's bum the harness on the bottom, and let's just throw it like that.
So they did that as a bait company to avoid that. That's really cool. Yeah. I mean, that's like really super fish conservation minded, actually.
Hey, I'll be honest. I've got to talk to Ken Huddleston probably a half a dozen times. I'm blown away by the guy. He's a Christian, loves the Lord, and he loves sharing his passion for the outdoors with people. And he literally, you know what he told me when he created the Huddleston? He said, Austin, I was praying for something that would shake the industry that I could use to glorify God. And he said, I had the vision of a Huddleston in a dream. I put it into manufacturing a month later. And he said,
unbelievable. Let's talk about the vortex that tail throws off, and how, and the research and development that went into the tail design, because of how did he actually do that? What was the science behind the correct tail and the correct tail action to mimic? So
it's a wedge. It's a wedge style tail. I don't know if you guys can see that really good.
Sure. That's good. You can. Yep.
Just like a chatterbait, it eventually catches and starts to move. Well, water eventually hits this and gets that tail kicking. Harvard, there's a student at Harvard that did a study, because he was a total geek bass head.
I remember that.
Dude, he did a study, and it said that 8-inch Huddleston lets off the same amount of water on the tail as a 14-inch trout.
Wow.
So now listen to this. Now you're talking about an 8-inch bait that's kind of like that I think it's a great tournament size bait. It's definitely a trophy hunt size, but now you're really targeting big bass, because, dude, a big predatory bass that's eating a lot of trout knows what he's handling and what he's not handling.
That's exactly right.
That's right. So they're going to eat this thing thinking that it's a bigger profile than it is. And dude, man, big bass are so aggressive.
So here's a question. I'm just going to throw it in because I've seen it come up on the stream. People kind of asked, man, that looks like a big bait. Would that really work on pressured lakes in the Northeast?
Dude, so this is a great question.
It is.
Listen. So many people, when it's tough pressure, what do people do?
Oh, they downsize.
Listen, they do like crazy. And you know what I say?
Upsize.
Everyone downsizes.
Supersize.
Dude, here's the deal. I guide on Highland Mountain Reservoirs, clear water where it's tough. The other day, I'm on a guide trip. We catch a dozen fish like right off the bat, and then it goes into full grind mode, high bluebird skies. I told the dudes just like this. I said, listen, if it's going to suck, it's going to suck with a chance of a giant. And I had them throwing glide baits. First dude throws.
That's like cloudy with a chance of meatballs, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And in these situations, listen, I had one guy, I was like, all right, we're going to downsize, throw shaky head. And he ended up catching a couple. But we also ended up hammering a 5-pound spot and had like a mega giant largemouth, probably 6'7", just right at the boat, hit the dang thing and just took off. And I'm like, But here's the deal, where everyone says, oh, downsize. Well, we already had, as far as tournament fishing goes, we had a good bag in the boat. But I'm like, man, let's actually upsize, because these fish aren't seeing that many baits like that. And all of a sudden we catch a 5-pound spot, end up having a chance of another giant. So, I think you have to think outside the box. Big bait is a mindset. It's a mindset. It helps you become a better finesse fisherman, a better chatterbait fisherman, spinnerbait fisherman, because all of a sudden you're understanding. Listen, bass fishing is, and I look at hunting the same. It's never a waste of time, because you're always learning and gathering information. And then you're basing your decisions off the information that you've gathered. Well, if you're throwing a bigger bait, you're moving bigger fish, you're getting bigger bites, all of a sudden you're storing up information on how big fish set up on specific pieces of cover. They will eat it in pressured situations, because, man, I'm telling you, they just don't see baits like that very often.
They don't. And I've proven that out in local waters where I guarantee you no one has thrown a Gancraft 230, to my knowledge, down at Gas in Carolina. And I saw just unbelievable things happen for us. And that gave us big bass of the tournament and second place finish. And literally, if we fished clean, we would have dusted everybody. So it gave us the opportunities for a mega win.
Little secret about a Huddleston. You ready?
Talk to me, Chief. Which one? 68 or anyone? Yeah.
They have an interior harness. That's what that hook is. It's a big piece of foam and then lead on the belly.
Yep.
you can take and cut some lead out of the belly. This was a ROF 16, so this fell 16 foot every 10 seconds. Well, it had like a piece of lead that I said was like the size of a goat testicle. It was like a chunk of lead. Well, I cut it out, right?
Yeah. Surgery, scourgery.
We're farmers down here. I cut it out. So now there's a hollow chamber in this bait. So now
you put a rattle?
No. When it sits on the bottom, it
floats
like this.
What? In a bed? Oh my God.
Like it's trying to feed on a bug or a little crustacean, and then I swim it, and it just like this, dude. And I've got bit so many times with it on the bottom.
Say what?
It's a crazy bite because it's literally. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
It's just a hollow chain.
So did you use Mend It to like seal it back up, right?
Mend It, I'm pretty sure should have been around in like during the World Wars. It probably saved lives. It glues anything back together.
That's so crazy, man.
It's bad to the bone. So big fan on the Huddleston. What other questions you got about the HUD, man? These are great questions.
So people asked about the HUD. They asked about let's see. Okay, somebody says they're going to Guntersville next week. Guntersville in June. What would you be throwing?
So that's a great question. I would 100%. I would be throwing a triple trout. In fact, Brad Rutherford, who was a Southern trout eater, ended up winning the college regional championship, 26 pounds, throwing a triple trout on
Gville.
On Guntersville. So you're talking
okay,
about...
so what flavor triple trout? How big was that triple trout? Was it a 10? Was it an 8? What do we got?
What would you say the normal eating size gizzard shad are?
I would say it's the biggest you can find.
Yeah, no, I'd say 8 inches, 6, 7, 8 inches.
Yeah.
So I'm a really big fan of the bull shad.
Oh no! Snap! What happened?
I got it set back up.
Hang on, everybody. He's okay.
I'm okay. Can you hear me?
I thought like a 10-pounder came out and bit you on the leg or something.
It came through the gondola shelving trying to eat my bull shad.
I seen it.
A 7-inch bull shad because you're trying to mimic the gizzard shad in the lake, and then a triple trout because that water is going to be warmer. And you know where I'd fish it? On Guntersville. I'd be fishing grass edges. I'd be fishing. Yeah. Oh my gosh. You kidding me? I'd think about how predatory bass. Think about how a lion hunts a gazelle.
Oh yeah, sure. They want that edge. They want that cover.
Right.
They're an ambush predator. I mean, that's the fact. Biggest bass. Hey, real quick question. Talk about, and you haven't talked about the retrieve for the warmer water. We're getting to the season of the bull shad, of the triple trout. So let's talk about it. I've seen Mike Buca videos. He burns the bait. What's your flavor for fishing? Let's start with the triple trout, and then let's go with the bull shad.
Yeah, so when I'm throwing, warmer water, you're talking about getting more into your aggressive style baits. You're talking about your serpentine baits like a triple trout.
That's right.
Your big glide baits kind of is what I've been throwing right now. But a big deal with that, I like throwing them on a 7.3 to 1 gear ratio. And I like getting after it, man. I like getting after it and fishing them hard. So I want to first start off by saying I talked about the glide bait. This is my favorite. You guys might have seen the picture of Travis put up with me. Caught that really big spot on that deal right there. But a lot of those fish, man, you can burn this bait, and it literally looks like this. I mean, just like crazy fast. And you want to talk about driving the fish insane, they will fly after this bait. And I will take this sometimes and burn it by dock. A lot of guys get followers on the glide bait, and a big mistake they make is they stop it. They just totally stop the glide bait. So I say this all the time. Okay, little sauce. I like that. All right. So I can't even concentrate.
Oh yeah.
So when they follow a glide bait, a lot of guys, guess what they do with a glide bait? They stop it.
Oh yeah.
They stop the glide bait. And I'm like, why in the world, at what time does a big predatory bass, when they're chasing bait, when does the bait fish just stop running?
Right.
They don't.
They speed up.
They speed up. And when I'm throwing this thing and I'm
gonna wreck them on that tomorrow, by the way.
It's gliding like this. I'll pick up that pace even faster when I see a follower, and I call it my do or die. I had a guy call in last week. He's like, He's like, man, I'm getting a ton of followers. I'm like, yeah, you're just stopping your bait, aren't you? He goes, how'd you know? And I said, because a bass is like, dude, it wants to compete. It wants to go get it. And when you just stop your bait, like the bass is like, oh, that's dumb, man. They're competitive. When you
That's kind of like, do you find the same thing on a top water? You're doing a big walking bait, and it's like, boom, boom. Do you speed it up, and then they gotta go get it, right?
Oh my gosh, that's exactly it, dude. How many times you get blown up on a top water?
Oh,
and then you just leave it there, and
yeah, and it's like they're gone.
Yeah, but then you just keep walking it, man. Like I'm trying to get away from you, and they just destroy it. And it's the same thing. So with this, I like doing half handle turns. I like doing half handle turns with the reel. I'm throwing this thing and I'm going 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And that bait's going boom, 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 1, 2, 1, 2. And then when they follow it, I go boom, 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 boom. I mean, I start just freaking out, almost like.
So so you're going 1, 2, and we see that pace all the time on videos. But then when you speed it up, are you giving it 3 cranks, 4 cranks? Talk to me. What does that look like? Go ahead.
I'll throw some tip on it. So
you're really pulling the bait and reeling it.
So then it's snapping, and when it's snapping, let me get one. When it's snapping now, so it's gliding like this, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then when it's snapping, they're following it. I'll go.
It goes.
Boom,
yeah.
And I'll try to turn it hard, and then I'll try to turn it back the other way, and just make it so aggressive because it's that. Think about a megabass. Why is a megabass so efficient, man? It has such big slashes.
Yeah,
Think about the best walking baits. It's because they have such big slashes.
Oh, big slides, sure.
That's the action that bass just can get with, man, because here's the deal. When they're following it, they can turn and hammer it.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about some other theories. I mean, I know big bass like to pin things against structure, so let's talk about boat position, angle, retrieves that work. I mean, we've talked about docks. That's I think it's been talked about last week. But let's talk about some of the other key things you do to trigger bites and to present the bait in the best way. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Long casts. Because these fish will follow the bait a ton, I like to just bomb long casts. Now, here's the deal. I've had a ton of customers break these baits. They just break them because they hit docks and stuff, and that's just a part of glide bait fishing. Like, especially, here's the deal. Just like anything, the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. But I like to stay way out off a dock. I'll stay 15 to 20 yards. I say 15 yards off of a dock. And I'm making long casts by it. And the coolest thing about it,
you're casting beyond the dock, right? You're not trying to bomb it up on the corner, right?
That's right, beyond the dock. And what's so cool about a glide bait specifically, more than
this is neat, guys. I know what you're about to say. You could get it under the dock.
So when you glide it, it's gliding like this. Well, all of a sudden, if let's say the dock's over here, as it's gliding, I can pull it harder, and then when it goes to cut back, I can pull it again, and then all of a sudden, it gets way up under. And I've caught fish literally that I've thrown way past the dock, and I've glided it right in the middle and heart of that dock just by control. Just like you can control a walking bait. You know, as soon as that bait, when you're walking it, you know, wants to go to one side, you give it a harder pull, and then it wants to walk, and you give it a harder pull. So you can control the glide of a glide bait to get it.
All right, so Austin, quick question. So you've painted that one to be a blueback herring, right? And I like that color. That's not going to be as visible as maybe like a chartreuse back. So there's some indicator strips. Would you recommend that for somebody beginning to try to be able to get a visual to show them when they're throwing a half hitch or they're giving a little rod action, to be able to learn and control the bait and see what the bait does based on the way that they're reeling, the cadence of the reel, and the action that they're giving on the rod. They have little strips. Right, okay.
Yeah, there's some baits.
I'll show you. Do you have any strips that you sell? Because I want to show them what I'm talking about, right?
I don't, because a lot of baits nowadays, like the Ballum, I think comes with it. So a lot of the baits come with.
See, can you see that, guys? Can you see? These are like, it's not a strike indicator per se, but it's used to just show you what your bait's doing. And by the way, here's a real cheap thing you could do. Paint a strip of freaking hot chartreuse on the top with nail polish. Sally Hansen will get you right for $3.99 on sale at CVS. Drop the mic.
Yeah, so I think it's a great thing to do, man, just to get that deal dialed in and you're really understanding how to work it. It's one of those things. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Here's the deal, dude. I think when the big fish come in to eat it, I don't think a little piece of orange or chartreuse on the
board. Heck no. It won't bug them at all. No way. Way.
Yeah. So anyways, but yeah, I like throwing this once again. I mean, my big thing is I just like to stay so natural. Our lakes are so freaking clear, dude.
Yeah.
I just have to stay as natural as possible.
Sure.
But, and I've been doing this for a long time, so I don't really feel like I need to put a chartreuse strip on it. But
well, no, you're an advanced guy, right? I mean, you're in the expert category. I'm talking about for people that are, investing in a bait and an ABT. They want to see what's happening, 30 yards from, and it's hard to see when you're in like that nice green water. They have a little stain, you know what I mean? So let's talk about water quality and conditions you need. What's the minimum visibility that you feel like you need, or does it matter?
I was on Douglas Lake with a buddy, and he threw a GAN craft out across the point to see how it would swim in about a foot clarity, and a 4.5 pounder torched it.
I mean, think about that, right? Because that's the myth about swim baiting. Everybody's like, oh, it's a clear water technique. Bullshit. Think about the amount of water that thing is moving, dude. Oh, my God. How do they feed on a bluegill in 6 inches of water? How do they find that little piece of meat? And, it doesn't matter.
And that's
right?
What I'm saying. I'm like,
right?
A big gizzard shad's going by their face on Clark's Hill. Dude, you ready for a stupid story?
That's what we want to hear tonight is some stupid swim bait stories, bro.
I'm on Clark's Hill Reservoir.
I fished for the first time, by the way, in after leaving Travis. I caught my first 7 of the season there on a slow roll and a spinnerbait on some hay grass edges, brother. And then a nice 4.5 on some buzz bait. I did not bring out my swim bait. The water was like 49.50.
Listen.
Should I have been throwing a HUD?
Nasty. No. Nasty mud. Nasty mud.
That's
it was
crazy.
Right after Randy Howell had won the Classic.
So okay, so you're talking about red clay. It's red clay color.
I'm going to do what Randy Howell did. I'm going to crank riprap. So on the day before, I caught that 9 pounder on that flat A.
Yeah.
And you told me, you're like, hey, bro, that chartreuse blackback flat A going to get it done. And I was like, yeah, dude. Listen, I go back there in the tournament, and I'm like, 3 pounder, 4 pounder, 3 pounder. This dude comes in behind me and goes, hey, can I fish behind y'all? Fish in the tournament. And I'm like, this dude.
You told me this story.
This dude's a moron. We're jacking them. Like, we've got like 18 pounds, and like we're calling up every 5 minutes. This kid throws a bull shad towards our boat, like back motor. And he's reeling this thing, dude. And I just hear, spoosh, boosh. And I'm like, and the water temperature is 55 degrees.
Holy
and I'm like,
shit.
what the heck? And I hear him yell, get the net. It's another 7.
It's another 7.
It's another 7. Dude, homeboy gets it in, and he's like, piss on it. Boat flips it. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. And he goes, baby, that's 15 pounds with 2 of them, bro. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. Like, I said, Zach, did he just say he had 15 pounds and 2 fish? So we keep cranking this riprap, and we turn this corner, go up under this bridge, and, dude, it was like that hollow echo underneath the bridge, like when you go, ooh, like, dude, I hear, and he's like, it's another freaking pig. He boat flips it. He's like, that's a 6, baby. We over 20 with 3. And I'm like, dude, I'm about to vomit. Because I just cranked through there. Through there, man. And I'm like,
you got your little tasty flat A.
Listen, yeah. So he takes off and he just goes up the creek. And I'm like, listen, this gets better. He goes up.
Get no better, man.
Dude, there's another bridge up there. We're gonna go crank it. I'm throwing the flat A. I'm at this other bridge, and I hear another like, and this dude goes, yeah, baby, get in the boat. That's number 4. We might be at 30. And I'm like, what? Like excuse me.
Was he in your tournament?
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah.
And I had you. How crazy is that? That both of us watched the Southern Trout Eaters DVD. We watched it at the same time. We're freaking out. We're going to catch a record bass. You're going to catch the record bass of Carolina. I'm going up to Deep Creek to catch, and you're throwing a freaking chartreuse black bat, flat A, and you're like, we're winning. And
yeah.
you ain't winning.
I caught a 9 and a 6, so I'm like the big fish are there. Well, dude, everyone's throwing crankbaits. Here's a great example of pressured fish. What did they eat? They ate a bull shad. This dude ends up catching another 4.5 pounder, weighed in 34.5 pounds on the Southern Eastern Regional the same year Randy Howell won the Classic. Dude, we finished like 23rd out of like 120 boats, and I was pretty pumped up about it. And he just would come up to me after the tournament. He said, man, that was a heck of a day. And I'm like, I think I'm about to vomit. Like, what? And
that might be the best tournament story I've ever heard in my life.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That guy actually had the balls to go hero or zero in mud.
Yeah, man, and that's the thing. So, like, talk about visibility. There was none.
Out the window.
Talk about pressured fish. Tons of
out
pressure.
The window.
Dude, homeboy, they were eating fat gizzard shad pre-spawn, loading up to go to the beds and make babies. They were eating giant gizzard shad. Dude caught him on a 7 and 8 inch bowl shad. He said he ended up catching 6 fish. He culled ones. I was like, "Are you?" I said, "What'd you cull?" He's like, "I culled like a 4.5." You know, and I'm like, man. I mean, that's just
Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny though?
It is funny, but at the same time, like when you think about it, like.
So how did that change your tournament fishing? What year were you in? What year were you in at Western Carolina? This is what year? What year is this?
I was in my junior year.
So what year is this?
2016. 2000. No, I graduated in 15. I graduated in 15, so this would have been 2014.
So you saw this in 14. You continued to fish in tournaments in college in 15. What did you do different?
Listen, I go to Watts Bar Reservoir, the next BASS tournament.
Yeah.
Go back, Google search college Watts Bar tournament. I'm sitting in second after day 1. I lost a 10 and an 8 on a triple trout because I'm like, piss on this. No one's doing this. No one's doing this, dude. I go up, I see some spawning gizzard shad on docks and pre-fish. Zach Hicks and I had 32 pounds with a triple trout.
Man, now should you have taken the hooks off in pre-fish?
Dude, I didn't know what I was fishing for.
Would you have taken, now if you had to go back in time,
Absolutely.
Would you take the hooks off of the triple trout?
No, because dude, I was literally, listen. Eric, I was going down, man, I've got some stories we're about to get into. I was going down banks. I'm like, let's just throw it down this bank to see if they're eating it. 7-pounder. I'd go to a riprap and I'd be like, I don't know. Let's see if this is a good spot. 6-pound spot. Let's see if this is a good spot. It's 5-pound smallmouth. I'm like, okay, like, dude. So then after that, listen, when Zach backed me in that morning, I took a triple trout and threw it down a dock just to see how it was swimming and caught a 5. And I'm like, dude, I did
that with Scooter Lilly. I'm out there practicing for Smith Mountain. It's the first day we're on the water. He goes, I got to rig something up, take the front for a second. I get a little chop on the water. I take my Gancraft. Literally, third dock I threw it in front of, 4.5-pounder.
I mean, and that's the thing.
But do you think that I did that in the tournament the next day? That's all I should have been throwing. It's hard to get the correct angle on the back of the boat when you're doing certain things.
Yeah,
but
of course.
I should truly keep that big bait in my hand. Gaston, same situation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable. But, to commit to it, there's a fear that you're going to miss out.
So, listen.
Right? I mean,
listen.
so like.
A good story right here. Stan Sypek, Bassmaster Classic on Lake Hartwell.
I remember you telling me about it. That's right.
Stan calls me. He won the Northern Open on Oneida. He whooped up on Travis. He calls me, and he says, man, I want He says, man, I wanna win the Classic. He said, I found your glide bait stuff. Do you think you can win it on a glide bait on Hartwell? And I'm like, man, or he said, because I think you couldn't get information. He said, how real is a glide bait in the Carolinas on herring lakes? And I said, let's go to Lake Murray. Let's go to Lake Murray. Stan caught a 10 with me and an 8 the first day.
That's
on Lake
crazy.
Murray. By the way, do you know how many people I hear of throwing big baits at Lake Murray?
Nobody.
Very few. I know of 2, and one of them's Southern Trout Eaters guy.
Oh,
and here's
of course.
The deal. Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, there you go. There's your big swim bait, Travis. Anyways,
it can be. It stretches, bro.
But man, I'm like, oh, my goodness, it just. I don't even know where I was going with that, man. But I'm like, it was Stan Sypek. So he goes on Lake Hartwell on day 1, has big fish of the tournament.
Yeah, I remember.
He's got a 6-pounder. He's sitting in 12th place. He caught 3 fish, caught a 6, a 4, and a 4, and then has 2 2-pounders on a jig he said he caught. And he's like, man, I think I can commit to it. Said he moved over 32 pounds. I told him, I said, hey, man, like, these fish, if they follow it, you know where they live, go back with like a big fat Senko. He just committed to the big bite, which there's no shame in it, man. Once again, when you're making decisions fishing, I think every decision in fishing is a good decision because you're trying to take information and you're trying to execute.
He wasn't able to load up the marinas with his largemouth like Oneida. So, I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to throw a big swim bait.
Hey.
Let
me tell you something. You can hate on my boy Stan. My boy Stan's a hammer.
I ain't hating.
No doubt. You ain't hating.
Facts, bro. Facts.
No doubt. He might be the best Oneida fisherman there's ever been. Anyways, but
one day you'll get there, Travis. You just keep.
He's got to put
trying.
down the fairy wand first. Boy. Stan don't even own a fairy wand. Stan don't even own a fairy wand. But hey, let me tell you something. Stan called me yesterday and it's like, man, I caught 3 today on the ABT 9-inch on a local lake, Pennsylvania. And I'm like, dude, it's a mentality. I think a lot of guys just aren't doing it. And man, we totally went off on like the water visibility thing, and here we are. So
let me ask you a question. So if you came down to the tidal rivers, would you try to employ some of your big bait, tactics here? Like, all right, let's talk about Chickahominy. Let's talk about a tidal river that you and I were recently on.
Man, if shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Okay.
This is a great time where I'd have said, instead of downsizing, let's upsize.
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen so many little chipmunks around cypress trees. I was like, huh.
Boca de Raton.
Oh, we get into the rat.
Listen, I'm like, dude,
I got a chipmunk for you, bro.
I'm throwing a Rico. I'm throwing a little Senko.
I know what you threw. I was with you, dude.
Dude, the whole time there's a voice in the back of my head, and it's like Darth Vader. He's like, throw the rat. Yeah,
dude,
oh my gosh.
You know that one. If you had this one, do you realize what you would have gotten if you had thrown that?
I don't want to talk about it. Just being 100% honest.
Honestly, dude, there are some jaints down in the tidal rivers in Carolina that I fish. I'm talking Chowan, and I brought them, but at the last minute I chump out because I'm like, my job is to put fish in the boat behind Scooter, and that's tough, right? Yeah. When I'm fishing with Travis, it's not easy to fish behind great anglers, right? Yeah. Fishing with you, I mean, I'm looking to get a bite. First of all, I want to have some fun. But why didn't I, when I was practicing with you, now it was like 135 heat degree index, right? So,
oh gosh, it's bad.
Yeah, I mean, so super hot conditions, does it still play? Are they in a foot of water? I mean, are those bass? They're bass, right? They're going to be on those same cypress trees all year long, right?
I think, now we can get into debates because you think about ledge lakes when the fish get offshore.
Sure.
On my lakes, and I've got 3 guys that got guide for me almost full time. They make full time money. They make good money.
That's right.
We all agree. We think the biggest bass in the lake lives in less than 10 foot of water year round.
Wow, incredible! You're talking about DD fish in your lakes, double digits.
Yeah, I'm talking about giants. We move so many fish out of shallow water, and we catch a lot of fish out of shallow water. But dude, we'll be like, man, where the heck are these fish? We're fishing offshore. We're fishing these spots in 20, 15 foot of water. And then we're like, man, let's throw that up there in a foot of water. And all of a sudden you see like a shark come out. You're like, I wasn't expecting that,
Yeah.
And, it's just one of those things. So here's the deal. I guarantee those big fish are on them cypress. I mean, dude, that's just like grass. Like they live on the cypress. They live in that hydrilla. You can't tell me throwing a big wake bait. I'm a little squirrel, a little chipmunk that fell out of it. Dude, like Aaron Martins, which, man, be praying for that guy. He's going through brain cancer right now and everything.
Again? No, he's back. He's out.
I know, but he's going through chemo right now.
Oh, geez. Oh, man, same prayers.
Yeah, man. So, anyways, but he said something when he won Havasu. He said, man, think about how delicious a little birdie is to a big bass. And I'm like, dude, think about how good a chipmunk is to like a 6-pounder.
Oh, it's like filet mignon.
Oh my gosh, that's like a tuna fillet straight off the captain's back deck, man. That's like,
dude, it's crazy, man.
So, anyway, should have thrown it, shoulda, woulda, coulda, but man, I caught some fish on Oneida on a big glide bait. Oh my gosh, dude, we were at Chickamauga Bassmaster Open, and this dude, he fishes the FLW Tour. I don't know his name, but I'm catching him in marinas on a jig, like a heavy jig. Like I caught him on a Magnum flutter spoon in these marinas, like Magnum.
Yeah. Right on. Yeah.
I lose these Magnum flutter spoons. I'm like, then they're eating something falling fast. I need something. I'm like, okay, 3/4 1 ounce jig, and I'm flipping it in these marinas, getting thumped. I end up finishing 14th out of like 300 boats. It was a great turn.
Yep.
Anyways, this dude, and I keep going in and out of these marinas, and I'm like hawking him, and I see him going to his live well. He sees me going to his live well. Anyways, I see him after the tournament. He goes, man, you had a good finish. I said, well, you're here too. And he goes, yeah. I said, well, what was the deal? What were you doing? And he said, well, I caught a lot of 2-pound fish, but he said I'd catch an 8-pounder every morning on a big swim bait. And I'm like, dude, it's there. Listen, listen, here's some theory right here. You ready?
Lay it on me, brother.
Are there, as you get older, are there less old people?
Sure, they die.
Absolutely, they die. So, but think about how population works. Think about this.
He's going to bring it home. He's going to bring it home to the lake. Nobody's dying.
This is the circle of life, like naturally. The older you get, the more of a chance you have to die. It's called life. But here's the deal. Are there still a ton of old people?
True.
Dude, it works the same way with big bass. Just because they're old, like there's still a ton of big bass in all of these places, man. And because there are a ton of big bass, guess what those big bass are eating?
Oh, dude, they're eating big baits like this. I mean, right down at the Chickahominy, man, guys are pulling out double digits because there's Florida strain. I mean, this is the Hinkle, but you know, phony frog is pumping out big double digits every year down there from the Chick, man.
It's like you still can target those fish. You're not. It's the ultimate battle of quality versus quantity. Some people want to weed through 20 fish to get to 15 pounds. I'm only looking for 5 bass, and I'm looking for 25.
Sure.
Dude. I've won tournaments here in the summer in the mountains. Dudes are weighing in spotted bass limits of 12.5 pounds. I come in with 3 fish for 18, 19 pounds.
Wow.
On rats too, by the way, and glide baits. But but you know, so it's one of those things. It's a mentality. You really got to commit to it. So, anyways, like I said, man, it's a mentality. So, what else you got, man? This is great. I'm loving this tonight.
No.
Dylan goes, are you fishing the tournament on the Upper Bay Sunday or guiding? I didn't know there was tournaments allowed.
Nah.
Okay, keep going.
What do you got?
Sunday.
So we've got some questions. So somebody had just asked about, time of year. What's the best big swim bait to try first? Bull shad or Hud? I did kind of respond and said bull shad in the warmer months, Huddleston in the colder months. But let's go through the seasons. Cold water bait, they can only buy one.
Cold water bait, Huddleston.
All right, which Huddleston and what generic color?
I would say if you want it right here.
Show us one in your shop. Yep.
Right here. Been chewed up.
It's 68.
A 68. It's got the same tail size as that 8-inch. It's a smaller profile. It's a great tournament style bait. I know when I go fishing with customers on guide trips, I can get 5 to 8 bites a day on a Huddleston 68, and they're going to be good.
All right, let's talk about what rate of fall is that generic Huddleston for general lakes. What do you throw because you're deeper?
I would say a ROF 5, rate of fall 5. So in 10 seconds, it's falling 5 feet.
Got it.
I only exclusively throw ROF 12s, and then I take weight out because I can always take weight out. You can't necessarily. I mean, you can add weight by putting nail weights and stuff in it. But I throw the ROF 12 because my lakes are so deep. But I'd say a ROF 5 is a great. I actually.
And what? Go ahead. Wait a minute. What color? What color for the masses? Any shaddy type color? Unless you're on a herring lake, right?
Let me show you. Hey, I've got a ton of them in the store. Well, you can follow us.
Okay, guys. Great.
Yeah,
Go get it.
Hey, Eric. The Chester County Bass Open is Sunday on the Chesapeake. Do you want to fish it with me? We probably should. Sunday.
I think I could.
Okay.
I'd have to head right from there down. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. Nice. Now, what's that flavor, Austin?
This is called Gizzard Shad. I've got them in Gizzard Shad and blueback herring.
But Gizzard's probably a great universal color because it's going to mimic a shad.
Well, dude, look at it. I mean, it looks like a baby bass. It looks like a shad. It looks like a trout. It looks like, literally like a herring.
Let's go to the warmer months. Okay, after the Hud bite's over, now you're getting into pre-spawn. He's going with the ABT. What size ABT?
I'm going with a 9-inch ABT or even a 7-inch. Some guys like the 7. Listen, the ABT is a fish catcher. The thing I like about the ABT, I didn't mention it last week, it has such a wide glide, and it's sharp. It's sharp. When this thing glides, it goes like this.
Nice. It's responsive. It's responsive.
Dude, the first time I threw an ABT, I thought it was broken.
That's amazing.
Because
Crazy.
I was like, why is it gliding like that? Because it
Uh-oh.
boom. It was like turning around on itself before it would come back.
That's very cool. All right, so that's the ABT. That's the ABT.
Once again,
What flavor? What flavor is that flavor?
Once again, this one is custom blueback herring. They only. By the way, everyone's like, I've been looking for them online. You can't get them because we are the only carriers of an ABT, blueback herring, shad, anything. And the unique thing with these guys is, once again, I don't know if y'all saw the video I put out. I caught a giant spot on that tail hook. Listen, most standard glide baits, man, I'll just grab one off the shelf.
Yeah, I mean, here's one that doesn't have a tail hook.
Yeah, here's a River to Sea S Waver. Yeah, no tail hook. That big spot destroyed it, but he got the tail hook. And then I caught a 5-pound spot last week. Guess what it had? It had the head hook.
Because they do headshots.
Hello. So, your standard glide baits only have a hook here and a hook there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the deal. Those fish headshot it. They swipe the tail. They T-bone it. This literally covers all your bases. That's why
That's beautiful.
ABC, it's durable, man. It's strong. It's natural. It has a wide glide. Dude.
All right.
The most innovative. Sorry.
Snaky bait. Next, when it starts to get warmer, post-spawn, bro, Haas. Let's talk. What's your next bait? I
want to say this, guys. You can follow us at Dreamcatchers Fishing NC on Instagram. You can follow our page and subscribe to our page, Dreamcatchers Fishing, on YouTube. This is a bait that I can't get. This guy that owns this company, I'm not saying this to be demeaning towards him, but he's kind of a moonshot. He's got pink hair. He's kind of a wild card. It's the guy that owns 22nd Century. I called him and I said, dude, I want to carry your baits in my store. And he said, nope, I want to control the flow of my product. He only sells to Tackle Warehouse. And this is the big thing. Like, you forget about the little guy.
And by the way, he sells on Instagram too, direct.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So there you go. I'd rather people buy like that. Anyways.
That's right.
I like a triple trout.
Triple trout over the bull shad.
I like the bull shad. To me, once again, the bull shad, I can fish the bull shad in 50 degrees. I can fish the bull shad in 85 degrees. It's a unique bait for me because it's that tighter action. It's still snaky, but it's tighter. So it's like the rattle trap of swim baiting. So this is super wide and serpentine. Like, look at it from the like, this thing has crazy serpentine action when it swims. So it's just a different bait. It's like way wider. But
so let me ask you a question. Would you go with the bull shad because it works in cold and warm?
Dude, the bull shad is a fish catcher. We carry bull shad. Like I said, Mike Bucca is my boy. I like the bull shad.
Is he a paisan? Is he a paisan with the name like Bucca?
Oh, dude, I don't know what he is, but he's a daggum stud.
You heard it from Austin.
That's it. That's all I got.
He's a fish making machine, fish catching. You got to love it, stud. All right.
So, anyways, those are the baits that I'm like, those are my go-to. I keep it simple, stupid. Like I said.
All right. Time out. We haven't gotten into the summer. So those are the 3 or 4. So if you're going to add one rat to the game, what's the rat? Trick question.
You want me to be 100% real?
I do. Always, man. That's what we do on SmallmouthCrush.
Nazuma! I'm going to tell you something.
I love my rat.
Well, Nazuma's by 22nd Century. That'll catch them. Yep. I got a little local country boy that whittles them with wood.
I do. It's not the guy that used to make them for you that I have a couple of.
No, I got a guy who makes them with wood. I'm not talking about ones that'll swell up and break like them old ones. I'm talking about.
I'm returning them to you, man.
Hey,
you gotta admit that one that boy used to make for you had a crazy swimming action. That little rat would go like this. That little rat would go. I mean, it just had this like sauciness to it, man. It got freaking bit.
Listen, my big thing.
You got to tell them the story at some point on Norman with the rat.
Guys, so here's the deal. Eric and I are fishing the big bass tour event on Lake Norman, and we're pre-fishing. And I caught a bunch on a triple trout and pre-fish. Remember? I caught quite a few. Some good 3-pound spots.
You know what else you caught them on that you begged me for? You wanted to buy it from me, man, but you didn't because I still have it. Yeah, you know what I'm about to pull out? Mm-hmm.
The MS Slammer.
Hold on, man. I got it, man.
Man, the slammer is like a rat to me.
Dude, it's true. It's got an awesome action too, man. She is. This was the bait, dude. This was the bait. You wanted that bait bad. Dude. That's the one.
What?
Eric,
You wanted that slammer, man.
Hey, I'm calling you. As soon as we're done with this, I'm calling you.
Not for sale, NF.
Hey, all right, that's fine. That's fine. Check this out, though. But so Eric and I make a move during the tournament. It was kind of a grind. Eric must have missed 6 or 7 giant fish, dude. On a rat. Literally, I called it. I said, we're going to go up to this one area. It looks right on Google Earth. We're going to throw a rat and catch 5s and 6s. Dude, Eric hooked up with like 3 mega giants. All right.
Boat winning fish.
Boat winning fish on Lake Norman. I'm like, dude, there's one other area on the south end of the lake. It's an island that no one fishes. And I said, there's some brim beds around it, and they like to wolf pack there. We go down there, and do you remember the first thing we see? I see like an 8 or a 9 cruising.
It's unbelievable, dude. My eyeballs were like popping out of my head.
Now I did catch one that morning on an MS Slammer that cashed a check.
That's right. Oh yeah,
that MS Slammer. So I throw that big rat out in front of that 9-pounder, dude, and that thing comes up to it, and it's weaving, and I'm walking it hard now because it's behind it. I'm trying to entice it to bite, and it comes up, and it just goes, nope, and he swims off, and I'm like, dang it. Well, I said, let's go down this other spot. I said, there'll be wolf packing here. There's some brim beds. I take that big rat, and I throw it up in that cut, dude, and it goes, boom! And I'm like, I had a glare. Right in my face. So it's shining at me. Now, Eric is right here. So he's looking at it crossways, and he goes, I said, man, I can't see it. And Eric goes, dude, you're going to set the hook to the bottom.
Here's what happened, man. The rat was on the bottom like this, laying dead, and the giant bass was doing a headstand on the bait going,
And I didn't set the hook. I couldn't see it. I didn't feel it. He hit it.
Oh, my gosh. And then, Austin, you launched your rod into the water. He took his entire rig and went, shoo. And it went like this, twirl. And I'm like, dude, we're going to need that. And, of course, we're only in 2 foot of water. So I think I made a cast and picked it up for you. I lost the boat in the morning. You lost the boat in the afternoon. We had a brand new nitro in our hands. Not once that day, but twice that day.
Eric and I have been close on that big bass tour because we like to throw the big sauce. But man,
we got to do it again, man. I want to get that party back together. We're going to go win a boat one day. That's no question about it.
No, man, that was sick, man. But I've got so many, man. You can go to my guys, like I said, you can go to my my Instagram. That's Dreamcatchers Fishing NC. That's our store. Please support your local small tackle shop. Support small business.
Yes.
Then subscribe to our channel, guys. We throw a ton of big baits. We have a ton of success. We get it all on film. We talk you through it, how to catch big baits. And here's the deal. Book a trip. Let me help you tune in your big bait game. Let me show you how to catch big bass. I promise you can take it to your home lakes and wreck fish like other dudes just haven't seen.
There's no question about it. I'm telling you guys right now, man. Look, I got to experience the lesson, man. You know, Austin, we said we were going to do it on Smith Mountain Lake. I'm like, Austin, I'm going to bring my conventional gear. But I had a couple of big bait rods with me. I was ready to go. I had my little selection of big baits. He actually used one on Norman that produced. I was pretty happy about that. He gave me my first Scandcraft to throw, the Jointed Claw 230, before you were really tuned into that ABT. So it's kind of cool to see that you've found something better than that, because that's been a big producer for me. It's not a very durable bait. But back to the lessons that I learned from Austin just by fishing, that Smith Mountain tournament was how many days?
2 days.
2 days. So the first day, I saw the power of the bait while I'm dicking around with small lures, catching a lot of fish. But I'm like, this isn't going to win us any money. But the next morning, I threw the plopper, got us a $300 fish. That was kind of cool. But then I saw the $1,000 fish come in the boat, and I played that video for you guys. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Madness.
And then I literally saw one that was probably double digits follow my lure in with you.
Yeah.
It made my knees buckle to be able to see the size of fish that are there. In fact, I had a viewer from last week taking your advice and our talk about docks and what I had done on one of the docks up there with Scooter, and seeing that it must have been a 12-pounder come out from under a dock. Dude, he picked up the big glide. He threw it parallel to the dock, and 2 giant smallmouth came out. He couldn't get them to commit.
Oh.
They tossed a Senko, and they just disappeared.
Dude, speaking of
hold on. Let me. I'm going to try to read the story to you, but go ahead. I was so stoked, like a viewer listening to the Big Bait episode, put it to work. I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah, well, and this is it, man. I talked to a ton of guys this week, and they want to step up their game. They're getting into
Yeah.
man. Listen, this is the mission of my business. I want to be 100% real, honest, and open. My goal is to help people succeed in God's creation. Like, I think about what it says in Romans 8. It says, all of creation groans for the revelation of the sons of God. And I think about God created this stuff, man, for us to enjoy and us to worship him. So for me, it's about guys having success. And that's what I love to do, man. I love to see guys literally crush big bass in God's creation, man. It's awesome. I love it, man. So,
man, it's awesome. It was Tom Pavlov Jr. I don't know if Tom's on tonight, but he told me the story. So here it is, dude. He goes, my partner lost his mind when I tied it on. We had like 30 minutes left in the tourney, and I had zero chance to catch up. So it was like, screw it. Knew the fish were there on the dock. They had been on the rock piles under it 2 weeks ago prior to dock going last week. Goes, yeah, dude, and 2 giants came out. He said it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, how about that, man? How cool is that, right?
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Man, he's a regular on the show, man. I mean, how cool is that? I was so stoked there. That's what those stories are about, man. That's what the show's about, is turning people onto new techniques, getting them jazzed to expand their arsenal, taking a chance, 30 minutes left and going for broke. I mean, how cool is that? Didn't work out, but the fact is, it's like, wow.
So you want to hear some of my first swim bait stories?
Yeah.
All right. So I watch Southern Trout Eaters, and I get like this hankering to get up my first big swim bait, and I get a triple trout. I go out on a local lake and fish like a local tournament, and it's a huge benefit tournament, 75 boats. And I have a small limit of smallmouth for like 11 pounds in the boat. And I tell my buddy, I said, how much does it take to win this tournament? He said, it always takes 20 pounds. And I said, well, dude, we just need 2 5-pounders, and we're going to have it. And he said, dude, you know how hard 2 5-pounders is to catch? I throw the triple trout, my second ever cast with a triple trout, across the point, and I'm reeling it, dude. And I'm just burning this thing, and I'm like, oh, I got bit. And I'm like, oh, dude, he's got it. I reel this thing up. It goes underneath the boat. I'm like, get ready. It's coming up. It was a 9.5-pound largemouth. It is in its crushers. So he headbutts me. I don't know if you can see the scar over my right eyebrow. He's so hyped up. He's like, let's go. He headbutts me and busts my eyebrow wide.
So now you're bleeding like a boxer.
Bleeding like a boxer, feeling like dang Rocky. Throw it back out there and catch a 4.5-pound smallmouth.
No.
Listen, so then in the fall time, I go out with my buddy glide baits.
All right, let's talk that fall. Here's fall. We got summertime ratting. We got fall where we got bull shad on grass edges. Let's talk about fall. What happens? Water's cooling down. Shad, they're back on the shad action, man. Come on.
So here's the deal. This is kind of where you can throw a lot of different swim baits because you get a lot of aggressive fish chasing shad. So you can still throw that triple trout in a little colder water, like 65, 60-degree water. They're eating a bull shad really good. They stocking trout around 58, 60-degree water. And all of a sudden now a HUD is a player in the upper 50-degree water, and you can still get bit on a glide bait. Like you can throw it all in kind of that 60-degree range in the fall.
Okay, so fair enough.
I throw a glide bait 2 days before I'm coming back to Maryland to visit you for Thanksgiving. I'm throwing this big glide bait out there, and I'm throwing an S-waver. And I'm reeling it really slow, and I'm just like really slow because I'm just trying to get the feel for it. And I'm like,
sure.
Oh man, there's a big one behind it. Well, my buddy who's a swim baiter goes twitching, and I go like this. I just go twitch, and it turns, and the fish opens its mouth and like eats it like a
size sausage.
Yeah, like that.
Like a corn on the cob.
And I'm like, oh gosh, dude, it's a giant.
Nobody's ever described a bass biting a bait like corn on the cob.
Well, that's what he's doing, man. He's going like this. He's going. So he has no hooks in him, right?
That's right.
I mean, the hooks are like this, away from him, probably. Belly's pointing towards you, or the hooks in his mouth.
No, he ate it. It was standing straight up and down.
Oh, it's like this.
So, yes, the whole bait gets
the whole enchilada.
So I swing and catch that fish, and so it was like a 9-pounder. So here you go. My first big bait fish on the triple trout, 9.5. My first glide bait fish, 9 pounds. My first rat fish.
Come on, man.
Dude, they're wolf packing on my home lake, and I had just watched the college Bassmaster when the fella had won it on Chautauqua throwing the big rat on wolf pack fish. I take that big rat. I'm like, oh, there's a couple cruising up the bank. I throw a rat out there and catch a 7.5.
Dude, I can tell you this: the ratfish are unbelievable. They annihilate this bait. When they're bluegill cracking, the bluegill spawn's happening. How many times a year do your bluegill spawn?
You know what? Honestly, I see bluegill on bed from now until October.
That's interesting because Travis maintains
the bluegills up north.
The
bluegills up north spawn in June, and then they get the fuck off the beds.
Well, that must be because the biology up there, it's colder.
I'm just saying.
I'm telling you. Well, here you go. Here you go.
I try to convince Travis that southern bluegills and bluegills like in our area.
Y'all call them brim down there.
We do call them brim, and there's a few different species of them. And I will say this: all of them spawn at different times.
Shell crackers. You got any shell crackers?
We have shell crackers. We have a few warmouth. We have bluegill. What's the other one that I'm like?
Pumpkin seed.
A pumpkin seed. Thank you.
Do you have a sunfish?
Yep. So they will all spawn in similar.
That's a generic category, Travis, for all of those.
Oh
my God.
Here's the deal. They'll all spawn, and we have crappies. If you consider crappie a panfish, and
we have crappies up here.
Yeah.
Congratulations, and I have cardinals that visit my backyard, dude. What are you talking about? Keep going.
Crappies. Before, keep going. But I can't miss a comment from Gary.
You haven't read one, except for one that was off topic.
Gary's wife is coming home soon, and we need to talk about the DRT and depths before his wife comes home and talks his ear off. So
here's the deal. I don't know a lot about the DRTs. A lot of guys are catching a lot of fish on them. I think it's a craze thing. Like I said, the DRT has your standard hook placement, and for me, that ends the game because I've seen so many fish miss glide baits because of the regular hook placement. So for me, that's just one cat. Like as soon as I see it doesn't have a head hook, doesn't have a tail hook, I'm kind of out for me because these big bass heads shot it. So as far as the depth goes, I was kind of wondering something. Why can't you just add a head hook to a depth?
You can. It's a split ring with a hook, dude. You could do it to any of them.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, are you kidding me, Austin?
Hello. Right?
So, anyways, just a thought.
What do you think of that saucy little?
That'll catch him, man.
Yeah, there's no doubt this will catch him, man.
Yeah.
You know you like that one, don't you? I love the big eye on this thing, man. This thing swims so nice,
by the way, did you hear what the guy who won that Lake Norman Big Bass tournament, you know what he caught it on? A 6-pounder?
Don't even tell me this.
A bull shad painted like a brim.
You mean like a shad-shaped bull shad painted like a brim, or the bluegill bull shad?
No.
Like a shad-shaped bull shad painted like a brim.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. I can't. Dang, man.
But
dude, we had it, dude, twice. I'm not even going to talk about it.
It is what it
is. But still, it
is.
was so much fun, man. That was so much fun.
It was. It was a blast, man. And like I said,
you guys, both those tournaments were a blast, man.
You guys can find all this stuff on my channel. I know everyone subscribes to Travis because Travis puts out great content. He's the man. But please subscribe to my little channel. Like I said, we're a guided fishing business. We got a premium tackle store. We deal in really, we're a shop for fishermen by guided bass. Like we are fishing guides that run the store. We carry the best stuff that we believe in. And
that's right.
No doubt. So
I mean, what he just laid down on you in terms of like if you're going to invest in one swim bait for each season, he just saved you hundreds of dollars in wasted money on fatty type baits. This is guide tested and proven stuff that we're talking about tonight.
Is that a jitterbug behind you?
Oh my gosh. Have you ever thrown a jitterbug at night?
Come on. Yeah.
It's pretty stupid.
Hey, people all the time. Listen, they're like, what should I throw at night? And I'm like, well, a triple trout works really well. But I'm like, my dad catches more 8s and 9-pounders in the summertime on a jitterbug than any other lure I've ever seen.
Isn't that crazy, man?
Bizarre.
Isn't that crazy?
Dude, I can't.
Hey, do you throw the musky one? Do you throw the musky one, the big one?
So, no.
Or the jointed one?
I throw the big Sammy bug, the Lucky Craft one, because I can actually change the hooks out. I can change the big dude. Do I know a lure that Eric didn't know?
No, I've got them, but I mean, I'm thinking. Shit, I changed my hooks out on all those baits that have those little harness below.
Slick. Austin is
Johnny Rattler, dude. I'm taking that. I'm clipping them hooks off. I'm putting split rings on. I'm getting my shit right, dude. Don't even tell me.
All right, what did you say, Travis?
Austin is too busy guiding to have a website, so you have to give him a call with your flip phone.
Well, so this is the thing. Like I said, for me, it's more than just a financial transaction. Most people in America really only care about convenience and money, but I care about relationships. So it's so cool, dude. I FaceTimed a guy this week that watched this episode, walked around the shop. He got some conventional stuff, got some swim bait stuff, a rod and reel.
I mean, that's it. That's what I'm talking about, man. We're not here to
Austin, I am not picking on you. I'm just, you know what I mean, bro.
Hey, look, man.
Guys are asking, where's his website? All this stuff in the comments. You got to give him a call.
This is what I'm saying. Guys, here's the deal. If it's proven and tested, guess what? Guys are like, do you carry this? Dude, I got a Mac Daddy tackle shop. I do this right. Listen, I grew up 3 doors down from Eric Galasso.
And you almost got coerced and go into his basement. We heard the story.
Dude, I went into his basement as an 8-year-old. He showed me his goods.
You guys are idiots. There's one way to tell the story. Like I ran up to him. He was like, "Hey, mister, look at this bass I caught." And I'm like, "Creepy kid, stay away from me." Nah, man, it's all good, man. But look, Austin, man, I want to talk about some of these bigger soft baits, like the Citizen. Great. Are you a WC Working Class Zero makes this bait? Are you a fan?
I'm a big fan, man. I got one right here, and here's the deal. I really like it, and I like this bait because it's a Gizzard Shad imitator. Think about the number one shad species in most lakes is what?
It's Gizzard.
Gizzard Shad, man. All in the South, Texas, everywhere, Tennessee River chain, Potomac River, Upper Bay, they eat Gizzard Shad. The unique thing for this is a lot of people. So I've always had a problem with this bait right here, the mag draft.
Yes, me too.
Because
the hook comes out.
Yes, because here's the deal, man. I just get such better hookups with an owner beast hook. So I like throwing this big Gizzard Shad imitator on an owner beast. Look, Travis loses his mind. So. Oh my gosh.
Oh, frick.
Thank you, Sean Lai. That's exactly right.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Sean. Hey,
but
Sean,
don't trust your kid to a guy who shaves his knuckles and his toes. I'll just go on record saying and drinks a bottle of wine at night watching a fucking bass fishing episode. Hello.
He showed me the. Have you guys? You can't tell me as an 8-year-old kid you wouldn't want Eric to show you the goods too. Look behind you.
Now let's talk about the Battle Shad, bro, Haas.
Dude, that's a mama.
This is the Battle Shad 9.
Yeah.
So big bait theory. Are you going to go with the Citizen, which you're talking about, or are you going to go with the Battle Shad?
I would say this one thing. If you are if you're a dominant shad lake and you're going trophy hunting, I'd throw the Battle Shad. If I'm a tournament fisherman, I want to catch big. I want to upsize my tournament catch.
Creel, yep.
I'm going with the Citizen.
When are you starting to throw the Citizen? Post-spawn, pre-spawn, all year?
I like throwing the Citizen when I like throwing my glide baits. 55-degree water to 70, 72, 73-degree water.
What size beast hook? 12, 10?
I like a 10-aught with the Citizen. I like a 12-aught with the 8-inch mag draft. I like that 12-aught. I even like the 12-aught with the biggest size Kitech there, the 7.8.
All right, let's talk about the Citizen. Are you throwing a 3/8 in there? Are you going to shave it down?
No. Listen, I like throwing because my lakes are so deep.
Yeah.
I like throwing it 3/8, but I also have some. If I can find the hook real quick, I've got some beast hooks. I take lead core wire and wrap the hook so it ends up being like 3/4 ounce. I like to get down to them.
Get down and dirty. So let's talk about the Battle Shad Retrieve.
Okay.
All right. So where are you employing it as a mix in your game? Because I mean, you're going from the Hud to the Glide to the Triple Trout or the Bull Shad, and then when does the Citizen kind of come into play for you?
Bro, so I like throwing it when I'm seeing the herring spawn because most of the shad are going to spawn around the same
70, 70-ish.
I think threadfin tend to spawn a little colder.
Got it.
Herring will start to spawn in 68, and gizzard shad will really start to spawn around 70. So anytime that I'm seeing big gizzard shad up shallow starting to flick around and get after it. But here's the deal is I know big pre-spawn females like big protein snacks. So for me, it's like when they move up shallow and where are those big fish staging?
Oh my God, on breaks and, deeper
Wood,
breaks, right?
docks.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, in your lakes, I'm talking about, yeah.
And even points of grass, wherever they stage.
Yeah.
This is
secondary points inside spawning pockets.
That's right. I tell people this: big fish live where you think big fish live. They just see a daggum worm and a shaky head, and they just see those things. And I know that works for guys like Travis, to catch 15 pounds, but 15 pounds ain't gonna get you much.
I threw a swim bait today.
I threw a spinner bait once.
I threw I used a Dirty Jigs.
That's 2.8.
I used a Dirty Jigs swim jig with a True Bass 4.5 on the back.
My name's Travis, and I like the 3-inch Hazledong Mega Bass. I love you, Travis.
So, all right, man. So,
by the way, that on a drop shot is something we caught fish on today.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, we did talk about that pre-show. No question about it.
Just so you know, if Eric and I fish that tournament on Sunday,
Eric is going to have all 5 keepers.
And
no, not where we'll be fishing.
Oh, really?
I'll be netting.
And we will be
top.
We're not saying nothing.
Don't make that prediction.
Remember, I sting my tournament fish every day, where other guys don't. Listen, but right now on the Chesapeake Bay, any dude in a wrap boat can catch 20 pounds with their eyes closed, guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Hey, that is the real. This is something I just want.
How is your Citizen smelling right now?
It's
mine's got like a chemical kind of like. Do you got a wrap? Like, are you saucing yours up?
Yeah, I put shad scent on it. Smelly jelly shad. I keep smelly jelly shad and smelly jelly trout in my boat at all time.
Trout.
That's a great point. That's a great point, Travis. And like, I feel like so many guys compare themselves to how guides do. Like, I feel that like weight of comparison all the time. And I'm like, man, I'm just literally trying to make an honest living. You're probably a better fisherman than me. Like, I'm just trying to guide.
Yeah.
That's why, I'm like, come on, man.
I hear you, man. There's pressure on guys that fish on the tour or fish on guiding every day. They expect you to be on them, right? They expect big things, right?
Holy shit, do they ever?
Yeah, you ain't kidding, man.
Well, no, I mean, and you, frankly,
and you know what? And we
should get a float of what's going on, right? I mean, it's fair in a way.
And if you know how to cast, we can get you on them. If you can't, fucking sorry. I'm trying.
That's the thing that I've had people I have people that I guide that aren't the greatest anglers, and guys are like, "Man, did you catch them today?" And I'm like, "I mean, not really." And then they're like, "Oh, we crushed them," and I'm like, "Well, I mean, congrats."
Yeah. No, and we get a bunch of different, and there's nothing wrong with that. You guys don't feel threatened if you're not a good angler. I can get you on fish. It's just we're gonna have to take our time and maybe focus on something that might be there might be a better way to catch them, but if your skills aren't to that level, then we have to make adjustments to get you on fish, right?
And that's exactly right. So for me, like today, I'm like, these fish are schooling everywhere. And I'm like, the people just couldn't cast accurate. They hadn't fished a whole ton. So it's like, all right, I know these fish are eating, they're eating little shad. And I'm like, but they can't really do a whole lot. And I'm like, you know what? I've just got a tie on a drop shot that has a little shad flavor to it. And we're going to cast it out there. And you know what? We're going to suspend it off the bottom and try to get around some of these fish that are cruising by it. Instead of casting in the breaks like I want to do, and that's how we would have an epic day. Now we're trying to adjust. Yeah, it's totally, and it's not something to be ashamed of. Like you said, it's just it's man, that is something that people don't take into account when as a full-time guide. Like we are constantly making adjustments to try to get our customers to maximize their day with their skill.
Oh yeah.
So it's a beast. Man, I could talk about guide life, man. Travis, how long you been guiding for, buddy?
2008.
Wow, how about that, man? You got over a decade in. I'm almost a decade in.
But so I started as a waterfowl guide. I duck hunted.
Really?
Yeah. So I duck hunted, and then I dealt with what little bass experience I had starting out, because I was new to the scene. Like, I was a walleye guy until about 2008.
Yeah.
Then I qualified for the elites 2 years later, and put guiding on the side to fish.
Yeah.
And then when I moved here, it took me. I had to get my captain's license.
Yeah.
So this is my third. This is my third year of guiding on the Chesapeake Bay.
My first guide trip I ever guided, I guided a one epic Eric.
What?
Eric, do you remember where I took you?
Oh, you're talking about when we went in that little
the Magathie River.
The Magathie River, right?
Yeah, man.
Boy, I scorched him that day, man. You were pissed off. You lost your black and blue jig.
Oh my God!
You were so hyped up to show me that you could catch him.
Now here's the deal.
And you struggled.
Tell people how old I was.
You were not 8.
No, I wasn't 8, but I was probably 11 or 12.
You were 11, yeah. Your dad, me, and you went out on my boat, right?
Yep. And I was like, I'm gonna show Eric how good of a fisherman I am, man. And you're just pick. I'm like, we caught some next to this dock. Eric flip over, catch one. I'd flip over, get hung. I'm like, son of a gun.
Dude, you lost that black and blue jig, and I'm like, dude, I got another one, but you got to come to my basement. You're like, okay.
Oh man,
I got you square on that, dude.
Eric, yeah. Eric, we need to after hours.
By the way, here's the really crazy part. We both threw that little crazy 3-inch Bass Pro Shops frickin' Senko.
Oh
that thing accounted for more bass. That was when we were in the you got to downsize.
Big baits don't work, dude.
Dude, it was crazy. We were throwing micro Senkos.
Oh my gosh, catching good ones like 3-pounders. For a river that we didn't even know how to happen.
Dude, I think by the sunken sailboat I caught 1 3.5. Remember that?
Yeah, it was typical tidal waters, like Delaware River fishing.
That was crazy.
River. Hey, listen, first of all, Austin, before I know you got bedtime and stuff, you're probably, I'm assuming.
I've got a trip tomorrow. I got to get to bed soon.
So do I. First of all, thank you for coming back for part 2.
Yeah, man.
We want you back at some point.
Yeah.
There's a lot of knowledge tonight. I was rigging up tackle earlier. Guys were thinking I was disengaged. That's not the case. Just because I'm rigging up a little Senko or a little drop shot doesn't mean I wasn't digging the info. But very good knowledge.
Austin.
Eric, what is that?
Hiroshima Customs. He knows what's up, man. Don't even talk about it.
Come on. Talk to me soft.
Keep going.
Anyways.
You'll learn, Travis.
Yeah, after hours soon, because I got to get to bed too. We need to discuss if we're going to fish this tournament and some other things, Eric.
I want to talk about one more thing, Austin. I want to talk about big wake baits.
Okay.
Are you down? Is that a category that you employ much? A big wake bait?
Like an MS Slammer?
Yeah. You kind of have it. You equate that as a rat. So, kind of.
Yeah, no. Here's the deal. I'm going to tell you this. I had a buddy text me today. I sent you the picture of it, Eric.
Yeah.
A buddy texted me. He was striper fishing on Hartwell with a 7-inch herring and caught a 17-inch herring on a 7-inch herring.
That's crazy, man.
By the way, I have seen 12, 13-inch herring floating on top of the water before, and I've heard massive grenade explosions on those things. I love a big wake bait. In fact, one that I really like to throw is a cotton cordell redfin.
Dude, that's like the arguably like the OG wake, right?
Yep. Some things, hey, if it ain't fixed, don't broke it.
Wait a minute, I think it's close. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Something like that. You just roll with it, dog. So that's what I'm saying.
You a fan of Cesar Chavez? Toxic Bait Suck?
Come on, dude. Hey,
come on, dude. That bait down your way would absolutely just get destroyed. You know it would.
That's hot, man. It's hot.
Dude, that's almost blue backy. You take some paint to that thing, wouldn't you?
No, I probably wouldn't take any paint to it. That's hot.
No, I know. I need to bring this down. When am I coming down to see you for some big bait action?
Yeah, dude.
Let's shoot a video, man. Let's GoPro it, man.
Been waiting on you, homie.
I know, man. I suck, but you know what? I got to book a trip. I think I have to book it.
Hey, man, all these guys been having sniffalations, scared to travel.
I already got it, so we're good.
I'm immune to it, boy. I got a paper mill next to my house.
What?
Sorry.
I don't know what that means, but I'll take it.
I don't know either.
There's so many chemicals in the air here, dude. They've been trying to gas us out for years.
Well, it's Austin. It's also a lot of chemtrails and stuff.
So before we get kooky on that kind of stuff, did any fish everything kind of love? Have you seen their baits? Their baits are so massive, dude. I got to show you one. And you saw me paint this thing up, okay? I want to I want to bring it out through the.
You put the shadadescence in it,
dude. I did put the shadadescence in this one. You need to throw this because it just looks so freaking good in the water.
Is it a big wake bait?
Dude, no. It's a dive. It's a dive.
He cranks it down.
It's a crank down. So that's a whole other category that you don't talk about much. I don't know if you employ it. Maybe you don't think it's needed. You're not a fan. You're not a fan. I got it. But so I'm just proud of my paint job. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think this kid is super cool, by the way, because he's a Maryland dude, right?
He's a Maryland dude. So look, that's what got me trying to support his business. I'm like,
I love it,
dude. I said, look, I got my big boy Austin down there in Carolina, man. He's throwing some big baits, and they're like, they follow you, they know you, they see your stuff. Yeah. And so I just want to know what you thought. He's got some glides. He's got the taxi trout now. It's a big bait. Why don't you link up, man? It's like Maryland to Carolina, man. I mean, come on, man. Let's talk about it.
I like that.
So fish everything. If you're watching, man, there it is. Austin, look at the size of that bait, dude.
That's hot, man. I'm serious. That looks really.
Look at that paint job, man.
That's sick.
Can you see that paint job, bro?
Did you epoxy that, or is that in clear over it?
No, that's Sally Hansen clear over my fairy dust with a little bit of nail polish mixed in. Look at my gill work, man. Come on now. Come on, bleeding gill work. Let's go, bro. Dude. Come on, dude. That is ignorant, dude. Look at that fork tail too. Come on now. That's your herring tail.
Oh, I have your fork tails, by the way.
Oh, sweet.
So
I love it. And I did myself a little purple back shiner.
Oh, that's a little fella.
Yeah. See, I mean, look, he's got a couple different models of the crankdown, man. So I mean, that's a bad little sharing bait right there. What I mean, cranking on riffraff. Dude, just grinding down there.
Do you have any 8-inch Mikeys?
Do you have any swim baits in June bug? Because
I feel like I need to paint one in June bug, but let me show you guys something that a viewer sent in, and I don't know what compelled me to say yes, but I did. He's like, I got to have a DT6 in June bug.
Oh, what?
Now people have been sending me a bait from 6 Cents Fishing. It's black and blue. Black and blue is not June bug. June bug is it's got green. First of all, there is no green in the black and blue 6 Cents bait, and there's no green in Mike Iaconelli's bruised black and blue DT. This is June bug. It is the flavor of the worm that you would throw that is June bug. It's got purple.
Eric, that doesn't count. Flake. Just because I pull out my freaking June bug behind me and you pull a DT doesn't mean you can fucking get away with it. Pull out the original, the OG. Right.
I'm going to show the OG.
I shouldn't even have to say that. You should know this by now.
I know. I have to show both now. So I want to show you the OG. This is the OG Excalibur and now the June bug DT6. We're getting clear to the lineup, boys.
Austin.
I mean, by year's end, there's going to be a June bug swim bait. Come on.
What swim bait do you identify as?
We went over this.
We went over this. Yes, Travis. Stop being redundant.
I'm out.
On the real, I'm about to be out too. I've got a youngster I'm taking out. He's been shopping with us, man.
Is he older than 8 years old? Because don't freak me out.
He's 16.
Hey, you know what happens when people
passionate about
you know what happens when little kids go in old men's basements? They turn out that way. So I mean,
hey,
what?
As long as they're fishing lures, I'm game. So here's the deal, though. On the real, really excited to take the kid out tomorrow. Love taking kids fishing. Hey, here's the deal. like I said, y'all, please subscribe to my channel. It's Dreamcatchers Fishing. Follow us on Instagram at Dreamcatchers Fishing NC. If you search Dreamcatchers Fishing, it'll come up. And then, like I said, follow us on Facebook too. Travis, I really appreciate you inviting me back. Showing me some love. I love the conversation. And man, Eric, as always, you're my guy. I got to get some sleep. I got about an hour drive to the lake tomorrow. The lake that I'm going to,
talk to us.
14.4.
All right, so people want to know what your personal best is. That was another question that came through. And then what's the biggest bass you've seen track your swim bait?
I had one track my swim bait at a local lake that was it's a private lake. I'm not scared to say that.
That's
I had
fine.
one track bait that was, I want to say 14 or 15.
Wow, dude. I don't even know what that looks like in the water.
Well, it looks like a heart attack in my chest is what it looks like.
Dude, were you quaking? Were your knees weak? I mean, dude, walk us through what happened. What were you throwing? What time of day was it?
I had
what did you do? All right, let's go. What is that?
I found a boat sunk on side scan at one of these local lakes. Well, they draw the water down so far in the winter, so I actually ended up manually bilge pumping this thing, towing it back to the ramp, and I decked it out like a Butch Brown rig, swim bait rig for small reservoirs.
What?
Yes. So I ended up, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go put it on this lake. So I called the people up. They said it's $50. I'm like, $50? That's a lot of money. So I went out there and I take a depth 250 and throw it just kind of dude, I'm talking about just throw it towards the bank.
What flavor? What flavor? Carp? Carp?
No,
carp.
There's
carp.
Trout everywhere in this lake. It was a trout flavor.
All right, fair enough.
Standard rainbow trout. I don't think.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
I looked behind this bait, dude, and I was like,
What is that?
Beaver? Until I realized, dude.
You thought it was a beaver following your bait,
dude. And then I'm like, by the time I realize it's a bass, I'm like twitching it, and it's making sharp cuts like doing that number. And I'm like, I don't even know what to do. And I'm not kidding, dude. I almost released my urine, my crap. I mean, I was like, dude, I was shaking. It would have towed my little reservoir boat. By the way, the reservoir boat had I decked it out with like a live well 36-volt trolling motor. I could do 6.5 miles per hour.
What'd you do with it? Sold it?
Listen to this. A guy from up in Maryland says I fish all the reservoirs like Tridelphia and everything. He ended up buying it off me for like $4,000. I had it decked out with HDS carbons. It was like,
come on, man. Oh, dude, seriously. Oh my God. Did you ever go back?
No. And but here's the deal.
Do you want to go back?
Listen, Ott Defoe somehow was like, yeah, I'm Ott Defoe, and he ended up getting to fish this lake with his boat. And I'm like, in his show, Hunt for Big Bass or something like that. And I'm like,
and did he catch a big bass?
I promise you, he probably did. Listen, what's swimming in this lake? There's only yellow perch and trout in this lake. I'm not kidding. I saw more fish. They were spawning in August. The water's so cold here, by the way. Dude, I'm not kidding. And I'm not even going to say the name of the lake. They were spawning in August. Dude, it was ignorant the number of 10-pounders I saw. I ended up catching like a 7. I caught maybe 2 7s and a 6, and I was disappointed with the day.
Okay, so we're going to go back, and we'll make arrangements to get the big boat in.
Hey,
that's what I'm saying.
By the way,
just let's say, I'll roll in. I'll roll in heavy.
I've got, no doubt. Hey, I've got a 12-pounder under my belt. I've got an 11.4, and I've got a 10.8. Those are my only 3 over 10, and I've helped probably 4 or 5 guys catch a 10-pounder. I've got probably more 8s and 9s than I've caught so many fish. I'm like, oh, not that an 8-pounder disappoints, but I'm like, I've caught so many 8-pounders and 9-pounders. And so anyways, that's that.
That's awesome, man. So what did your big fish, what did your 12 come on?
A HUD.
And
then the next one actually came.
HUD.
Yeah, the next
8-inch deluxe?
Oh yeah.
Deluxe, rate of fall 12, sauced up?
Yep, standard.
So what time of year? I got to ask the other questions. Come on.
November.
What? What was the water temp? About
55.
Oh, interesting.
Here's the deal. Madness right here. On the bed last year, I caught that 11.4 on a jig.
Oh God!
After I pinned her down with a glide bait, though.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, she didn't want to lock on, throw a glide bait at her. She got freaked out that it was in her bed. She hunkered down on it. I finally got her to the point where she would really swim up and kind of like nose it, and the buck would hit her jaw to be like, don't eat it. And then
wow.
I finally flipped the jig out there, popped her in her side. She turned like this, and I just seen her gills go, and my rod went, Kong. Set the hook. She swims. I got this thing on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, you jumped in after her.
Dude, she swims under a dock. I tell the guy, because I'm guiding the guy, he caught like an 8, and he's freaking out. He's like, yeah, you try to catch it. It's another 8. So I set the hook. I'm like, oh, bigger than 8. I dive in the water, swim under the dock, wrestle this fish. I throw it up on the boat, and he's like, that's the biggest fish I ever seen. And I'm like, how big is it? And I got up there, and I was like, oh, my God.
You snorkeled for your PB.
Yep,
That's some crazy stuff, dude.
It was madness, man. But anyways, man, I'm tired. All
right, guys. Hey, listen, like and subscribe to Austin's channel.
Dreamcatchers Fishing. Dreamcatchers Fishing. Yeah, man, we put out. I'm trying to do more educational content. Like I said, my mission is to help guys become better anglers and have success in God's creation. While we have, hey, I think Toby Keith said, I ain't here for a long time, but I'm here for a good time. So, no doubt, man. I'm here for a good time. I'm here to help you guys. Travis, like I said, I appreciate you inviting me.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for coming on.
I appreciate you for being so passive tonight. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Hey, in all seriousness, I think Eric and I literally could probably talk for 36 hours without stopping.
Straight. There's no question, but we were just devouring each other's words.
You and I have had phone conversations in the shop, like on a slow day, that have been 4 hours long. It's been
easy, and we could just continue to do it, man. I'm all ate up with it, man. You know I am, man.
Eric used to call me every morning when I go to a guide trip because he knows I have an hour drive one way.
And here's how Travis answers the phone.
Because he's always interrupted because I'm listening to my stuff.
He goes, hello.
Hello?
Dude, you're about as boring as it gets on the phone. What is your deal? Have a cup of coffee or something.
Hey,
yes.
I'm out.
All right.
Peace, Austin.
Subscribe, follow the Instagram.
We will.
Catch us fishing and see.
Right, and like this video and share this video.
Yeah, share and like, guys.
Wait, how many? Man, come on.
Shit, we had almost 500 viewers tonight.
Woo!
Awesome. Well, good deal.
Damn.
Well, guys, we'll get back on the schedule again. We got to make this happen again.
We got to do it, man.
I don't know anything else about fishing. You guys are you'll have to teach me about like fun things like Ned rigs.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I love a Kitech or whatever. Is that a diesel minnow? That's a diesel minnow.
It's just the minnows, not the diesel. Diesel's a little thick. I don't like the way. I can't even talk about it. Not tonight.
Okay. I hear you. We're going off tangents, but anyways. All right, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. See ya.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Peace all out.
Oh, shit. That was good.
Oh, man, totally.
Dude, Eric, so I booked 3 freaking guide trips during this show.
That's unbelievable, man. How awesome is that, bro? Congrats.
So if anyone's listening, I
book anything tonight.
For the Chesapeake Bay, I have May 28th, June 3rd, and June 10th left. So 3 days I can't do it with my 3 days if you want to book. And then as far as Lake Ontario, I have August 5th, 12th, and 13th left. 6 days and I'm booked, Rohim, for the whole year.
Out. And you're out.
Yeah,
wow.
I'm out. Then I'm done.
Wow, man, that's fantastic, dude. Congratulations. How does that feel? Relieved?
Yeah.
Bet you are.
Hey, first of all, when I talk about the wrap boats, I'm seeing some comments. I'm not talking about Buddy Gray. It's other peeps.
Yeah, did you want to call them out?
No, I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just saying it's not Gray Buck. I'm Gray. I like Gray. I don't have a problem with Gray.
So you have your approved list of people you like in wrap boats, and then the other ones that you don't.
Gray's a fucking FLW touring pro. That's not my point. E to the G. And by the way,
what is your point?
I talked to Gray the other day. He wants to come on the show.
Oh, that'd be awesome,
I think that would
be
pretty cool. I want to talk, but here's the deal.
Yeah, man.
You know,
hell yeah.
we're not just going to have him on. We're going to talk about Oneida Lake, where he freaking's been dominating the last couple of years.
And you'll be taking notes, right?
Yes, I will.
Yeah, so you'll be moderating, asking your questions. Okay, cool. We'll learn. That's cool.
What else we got here?
A lot, dude. We got a lot.
Dude, people.
Wow, that was pretty awesome.
If I live closer to the Chesapeake, Eric,
yes,
I would offer 2 trips a day. I would do a bass trip I would offer 2 bass trips, or I know guys are digging the perch action on the Chesapeake.
That's so crazy.
I can put people on big ass yellow perch and white perch.
Yep.
Stripers, I mean, I could open the whole thing up, but
I guess you'd have to get a cabin down there or something.
It's so much work. I'm an hour away.
It's a lot, man. Yeah. I know.
Yeah. I don't mind it, dude. I love it out there. When I'm out there, I don't care. You know what? So today, give you an example today.
Yep.
So when I guide, I get bored sometimes in certain areas. If I don't have to be, like today was really windy, so I guide with a remote control and my power pull buttons. So they're up at the front, and I'm doing my thing and moving the boat around. Sometimes it's a lot of work, especially in the wind, just to fucking drive that boat, right?
Yeah, right.
And make sure they get good casts. And every once in a while, I like to pick up a rod, and I'll cast way out, or I'll do something totally stupid. I'll work a dumb bait. I'll fish. I don't ever cast. Never will I cast to an area before they get a chance that I think is holding the fish. Okay?
Right. That's
just a rule I have personally. And they don't know this, you know what I mean? But yeah, I like to throw a line out every once in a while. But there's some trips, and we talked about this earlier, that, there was one trip last year I caught a couple of real big ones, and I felt bad, you know what I mean?
Right, sure.
Because they weren't the best anglers, so...
A lot of guides don't feel bad.
Oh, I hate it.
Stick them. Yeah.
No,
right?
So today, one I had up to the boat, I saw him, he was a giant. But I had 3 others that... they were having fun. We were catching fish. I felt the bite, and I just didn't set. You know what I mean? I get to that point where it's like, all right,
sure.
I know there's fish. I know how to work the bait.
Sure.
But fuck, would I love to? And I know people normally don't have a problem with it. And again, if I'm on a grass bed, I'm totally casting behind the boat, away from them, and I'm throwing something stupid. And when I say stupid, like that, and it's not stupid, it's something I wouldn't normally throw. So they were throwing the stuff I would normally throw, and I'm throwing that Dirty Jigs heavy swim jig, which I don't throw. I throw the finesse with that big 4.5 because you told me about the white perch, right? Remember that conversation, Eric?
Oh, big time.
Guess what? Yeah.
I already know, yeah.
Yeah, Big Mama stumped it.
There's no question about it, man.
Stripers.
Sure.
But I was like, oh, fuck. Now I got to throw this in the arsenal?
Uh-huh. Yep.
And I like to have discussions, too. Like, we talk a lot about my tournaments and where I fish on the Chesapeake and stuff like that. And I go today, you guys, there's 100 other places I'd rather be right now. But this area is producing. Here's the problem I face. I could be in the tournament and decide to go somewhere else, and guys are going to come out here and crush them.
Right.
And then when we get into some of my zones, I tell them everybody wants to know the secret why I do fairly well in the springtime on the Chesapeake, and here's the secret. And they're like, huh? And they don't understand the confidence that I have.
Sure.
We pulled into a spot today and put the power poles down, and I said, keep casting. Keep casting. They casted. Keep casting. Dude, probably 20 minutes into it, he hooks up with a giant.
Yeah.
And I told him, I go, dude, I take you to the places I fish tournaments. I go, this is how you do it. I would stay here until I get that fish to bite because I know they're there.
Sure.
Man, it's such.
So how big are the perch you're catching? People want to know, and stripers, and how are you doing that?
Oh, shit.
How big are the perch? Let's talk about the perch.
The perch would be. So back in Wisconsin, we would classify those perch as jumbo perch. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Big.
Yeah.
I mean, like 13-inch, 12 to 13-inch perch.
Those are nice, man.
But don't get me wrong, I catch a lot of 6 and 8 and 10 inchers too.
Sure, of course. Right.
No, a variety. I caught a bunch of snakeheads today. I took them home to eat.
That's pretty cool. So on the white perch, are you catching some of the jumbo white perch that have that like dark gray head?
Yeah, so
they get that dark.
I didn't want to fillet a little white perch like that, so I would catch.
No.
I call them mini white bass size.
Yeah,
a mini white. Back in Wisconsin, we get white bass, which are about this big.
Yeah.
And so the white perch are about that big that I keep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A Smoky Joe trap is a great imitation of a white perch. That gets bit really good. For those of you out there that love to throw traps when that perch run starts, get yourself a Smoky Joe rattle trap. You won't be sorry. What about the stripers? How big are the stripers right now?
Oh, shit. I caught about a 15-pounder yesterday.
Nice, man. On a swim jiggity?
That swim jig.
Sweet. And then what else? How are you cooking the snakeheads, man? People want to know.
So a pan with butter and some Old Bay or some different spice and just
Old Bay is awesome, man.
Just saute it. It's just a white, nice, tender.
Oh, they're delicious.
Yeah.
How do you like the perspective? Are you getting used to the Garmin perspective?
Yeah, good
mode?
point. So I watched 8 different YouTube videos last night and took notes from 8 different pros. From I can't think of the guys. A couple different pros out there. How to set up your live scope, right? Everyone's got a different opinion on color, on the TVG settings, on everything, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, and half those fucking videos were fucking putting me to sleep, and I was like, get to the fucking point, you moron. And maybe that's how people talk about my videos, but I'm like, this is stupid. You're just trying to get views, you chump. So you got to do some digging. Don't take the first 10 videos that pop up on how to set up your live scope. Because everyone's...
What was the best one you saw? You remember?
No.
All right. Anyway, doesn't matter.
I would say, let me see who it was. Well, Mark Daniels Jr. had a good one.
Okay, cool.
Who was the other guy? Let me see if I can find him. I can't. Last year, Benjamin Nowak put a good video about how he sets up his live scope for forward and down view, and that was really good.
That's cool.
And so I use a lot of his. So my live scope and down view are dialed in perfect.
Yeah.
The perspective is, I can see that it has extreme potential. I was blown away by it, but I could not see my bait. But I'm controlling the boat, and I have it at the console on a stick.
Yeah.
And so I'm not. I need a full day to myself to get it right.
Are you seeing fish and structure on the perspective on the stick at your console?
Yes, but I don't know how to cast. I'm not casting. I wasn't able to cast to them during my guide trips. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yesterday, I did have a trip where I told the guy to cast. I saw a fish, and he caught a largemouth. You know.
Very cool. And you did the software update on your units, or you already have the current software,
the
new versions, right? Okay.
Yep.
So it came kind of pre-installed. Gotcha.
They wouldn't. So my the people I guide on a regular basis typically wouldn't be able to. Like if it was me in a tournament, Eric, if it's you and me Sunday,
yeah.
I wouldn't make a cast until I see a fish on that live scope. Okay.
Sure.
So it's hard when you're guiding to tell them, first of all, That new Garmin Force is amazing, but it's different. It's not as smooth sweeping as an Ultrex. Okay, it's like this.
It's a choppy.
Choppy. Now that could be how I have my foot pedestal set up, right?
Sure.
It could be.
Yeah, or they have adjustment on the bottom.
It could be that I have to take some, used to it. But that's one concern I have. I can't stay on a fish as consistent as I could with an Ultrex.
Interesting, and
because you have to stay on those fish with live scope. Otherwise, what's the point? Now, typically though, because you're picking up every fish in that area that you're fishing, right?
Yeah.
So it's a catfish, it's a snakehead, it's perch.
Can you see the difference?
Very hard for me.
Yeah, I agree.
The only way I can tell consistently on the Chesapeake Bay is if that fish stays in the same spot, like next to structure.
Sure.
Then I'm pretty confident that's a bass. I pitched to him, and I've caught plenty of them doing that.
Sure. I found the same thing. I mean, when I used it, for the first time down at Hartwell, you could start to discern in terms of the numbers of fish, the size of the fish could speak to you a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And the spots were very different. They were curious. They would just appear off the bottom out of nowhere. That unit didn't always pick them up. If they were glued to the bottom, they were hard to see, and unless they were moving.
And I don't care anymore. I'm going to talk about because everyone else is. 360 has people are asking about the 360. So listen, the pros that are running 360 in Humminbirds, they're selling you fucking electronics. Okay, yes, 360 has a better mapping and a better side image. But you are not going to do any damage with the 360 other than finding structure. That's it. You're not going to catch those fish that we see on live scope. And you're fooling yourself believing these guys, they're getting paid thousands of dollars to spew their 360 shit to you. And it's beneficial, but if they had a choice, they would not be using 360. They're using 360 because they're getting paid $30,000, $40,000 a year, top pros, to run those units. I promise you that. They would not be throwing a Humminbird and calling it just as good as live scope.
Yeah.
And Lowrance, their new whatever it's called, it's the angle, the degree of that is so crazy that it doesn't even work, especially for shallow water fishing.
Yeah, live sight. Yeah.
But I promise you guys, it's all about money and marketing, and that's why they're sponsored.
Hey, dude. I mean, speaking of sponsored, I am rocking.
Shit! I didn't even know that.
Yeah, bro. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
There it is, brother.
There you go.
Come on.
There you
Stand up for the Scrush. I mean, I didn't want to I know you don't wear the Crush stuff. You're wearing Monster Bass and Filthy Anglers. You're wearing everything but your own brand, but that's cool. I got you, man. I had to rep it tonight. Boom.
And guys, I like if I had 360 in the boat, it would be great to see rock and structure, but I don't need that anymore with live scope. I can see the structure with live scope, and now I can see the fucking fish and my bait at the same time. So
the structure is not as defined with live scope, in my opinion. But it doesn't matter because all I need to see is a fish. I don't care.
Yeah, right. You can have the gorgeous rock pile out here, but if there isn't a fish on it, what good does it make?
Yeah.
And now I'm vocal about it because everybody and their brother is going to get live scope in the future. Okay?
Yeah.
Now it's just a matter of, is it tuned? Are you using it? Is it tuned in? So, I don't know. Are you following these comments?
Yeah, I am. That's why I'm asking a lot of the questions, Yeah. The Smallmouth Experience says, perspective mode is the shallow water solution for live scope.
Well, I can see fish in super shallow water. On my front, I have a down and forward and perspective.
Basically everything.
But I think in the Chesapeake Bay situations, it'll be perspective and forward. You know what I mean?
I gotcha.
Yeah, I can't wait to get that stuff out there on the big lake.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Let's see.
Yeah, let's see. And I'll tell you what, I'm just being honest with you guys. My hummingbirds have been back to the hummingbird shop over 15 times in my life. I literally have sent in a warranty claim and asked for pay my shipping because I'm sick of this 15 freaking times.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I love their stuff. Like, I love their side image. I wish
I've never had to send any of mine in. That's probably because I only fished my boat for 31 hours in 3 years.
Right. Which, dude, by the way, those hours on the motor are not accurate.
No, they absolutely are.
No, they're not. I believe
100%.
No, when you turn that key,
I know how long I've been out in the water and how far I run, dude.
No, not me. It says I put I got a shit ton of hours on my boat already, dude, and I don't. The first day I ran it, it said I had 4 hours, and I literally maybe was an hour and a half. So every time you turn that key, I don't think it takes in consideration a minute or 2 minutes. I think it gives you 10. It says, oh, you turn the motor on, it's 10 minutes automatic, or 15. I really do, dude. I don't think that's...
Did you say dude?
Dude. I don't think that's right.
Say that again, dude.
Dude. I say it all the time, dude.
Well, you have a habit of getting caught in time-space continuums, so that would explain it.
Oh, shit, bro. Let me tell you a story. Yesterday...
Uh-oh, here we go.
Yesterday, I put my boat into a... I don't want to give away the spot, but...
A black hole.
So
you were in a black hole. All right, let me see if I can guess it. Hold on.
Chesapeake Bay.
Okay.
Island.
Oh, yeah, I know where you are.
Okay. I go in there.
Oh, because we fish there.
And I go, dude, I go to my client. I go, we got a half hour and we probably got to leave.
You got a bug.
He caught some good ones. And then I go, probably should leave.
Yeah.
I get up there, dude, and literally I'm looking, I'm like, how in the fuck am I going to get out of here? Instantly, I jump in the water because I know that if I don't...
It's go time.
It's go time. And then I'm like, it's 9:30 in the morning. Do I want to... The guy was a good dude. Fuck, he gave me a bottle of Tito's with my name on it.
Yeah, with
right?
SmallmouthCrush on it, yeah.
But I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck am I going to do for 8 hours? Right? Stuck in here. And so I jump out and I'm pushing and the adrenaline kicked in. I tried to play it cool.
Yeah.
But the adrenaline kicked in knowing that we need to fish today. I don't want to be stuck inside this little deal.
Yeah, right.
Dude, I pushed harder than I ever pushed in my life.
Harder than when you were with me?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've seen you do it twice now. Alabama and that one little caw.
Because Alabama.
Yeah, you were polling in Alabama to get back into that cup.
Oh yeah, worse than that.
Oh yeah. I thought you worked pretty freaking hard down there.
I knew if I didn't get out of there, I was
it was
screwed,
hours.
and I did everything I could do. And all I had to do was go 20 yards, right?
And what happened?
I made it.
Wow.
Very, very tough. Like,
did the boat grind a little bit?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Oh, it's just a little bit of paint. No big deal.
No, I don't think I did any damage. It was.
No, you were on sand. It was sand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I know you know.
Oh, yeah, man. Wow. So how do you like the battery management system?
Oh, the charge?
People have been asking about the power pole battery management.
I don't understand it. I have no idea how it works. Like, I know how it works, but I don't get it.
But it doesn't matter. Is it telling you what you need to see on your phone?
The thing works, dude. It blows my mind. Like, it's not supposed to work that way. How is it all interchangeable? How does it take my lithiums and my charger and throw juice this way or that way?
Sure.
So far, so good, dude.
It's electronics, man.
And I'm running 3 live scopes and a hummingbird.
So basically, the concept behind that is it's power management, right? It takes power from what it needs to take it, and then it tells you, right, on
Yeah.
your batteries are. So it tells you battery 1, battery 2, battery 3, battery 4, how it's doing during the day, correct?
Well, yeah, it tells me the amperage and it tells me where it's putting power to.
Right.
Yeah, it's a cool system.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely. What else we got? I feel like I was lacking on the comments here.
You were pretty much all show, but that's all right. You're here now.
Yes, guys are going to win tournaments with 360. I wouldn't fish without a live scope in certain situations.
Wow.
You know. So, are we going to fish that tournament Sunday?
I'd like to, sure.
What happens What happens if we take 40th place?
That would suck. I mean, essentially, I couldn't tell you a thing about the bay right now, other than what I think I would know was going on. You're the one that's been there every day.
Here's the problem.
So we're going to be fishing your fish.
If we do, we won't be able to make a video because it's those types of places.
Yeah, we'll just do a video recap.
Yeah, but that sucks.
Well, I mean, if we end up spending some of our time on the flats, we'll make a video. I mean, but I don't think we're going to be there.
We won't be there.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Because there'll be 40 boats out there.
Oh, of course.
If you're the first boat,
different story.
Oh, today I had 0 guys by me.
Wow, that's awesome. It
was freaking pretty easy.
You know? Yeah.
But yes, Jimmy's coming back.
When is that?
Soon. Maybe this weekend.
Unless you took care of some business.
Don't cook snakeheads in a pan on top of the stove. Corey, why?
Joshua Torres says, throw big-ass glide baits
yeah,
for
right.
the W.
Nah, we won't be doing that, I promise you.
I know, that's right.
I don't know, Eric. Fuck,
what part?
I don't know. What if Ryan shows up?
Ooh, that could be fireworks.
What do I say to the dude? How do you get a call back, dude?
Who would he be fishing with?
Probably Johnny V or somebody. Some random guy. He switches partners a lot.
Does he?
I don't know who he would do.
What do you say to him? I think you've already said enough.
Oh, I would just call him. If he's like 3 boats in front of me in the line to launch, I would call him again and see if he answers.
There you go.
The dude's weird. Like, why would you not just fucking call me and be like, hey, Trav, I'm pissed off at you?
I'm out. I think he already told you he was. I hope it was worth the video. Time out in the viewers. Time out. There's no more discussion about that. It's settled business. I can't help you here. Eric, I can't help you here. You've already talked it out. Eric, you talk about it every show, every week, multiple times a show.
I know. It's just fucking weird. It's fucking weird. It's driving me crazy. Maybe he gets the joy that it's driving me crazy.
Possibly.
I think he has my number blocked, and that's why when it calls, he doesn't even see it. So what's the point of calling him every day?
Right. So if that's where we are, you just got to let it rest. It's out of your control.
I go full, crazy. Dude. I don't stop until fireworks explode. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not stopping, dude, until I get a response from him. Good or bad, I need a response.
You've already gotten one.
A no show is not a response.
No, it's the I hope it was worth it. Pretty much.
Yeah, for the 17 views, dipshit in a community hall, it was fucking great.
Stop.
What?
Just stop. I've tried to explain the logic. You're not getting it.
Oh, you have some explaining to do? You're the one that talked me into going live. It's your fault.
Okay. We reviewed this last week. I don't think we're going to go there again.
Obviously, it pisses me off because I call him every day.
Well, I'll push the end button tonight, so.
Oh. What, do you know something I don't?
I know a lot that you don't, booby.
Oh, shit. There's a tournament Friday, too? I got a guide trip. I got a guide trip.
Right. You do.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could enter with your customer. That would be pretty cool.
Now Jake Chargeman says he's mad at me.
Jake's mad at you too.
What the fuck?
I didn't see that part.
There's your sign.
I didn't see it. Where did Jake say that?
I don't know. I'm just trying to read the comments. If I was mad at someone and they called me every day, I would answer the phone and tell them why I'm mad.
But you already know.
I had a girlfriend like that once.
Oh my gosh. James Barron wants to know if I ever paint my hollow body frogs. Yes, there's a paint out there that Austin, if you call him up at the shop, he will tell you about that paint. I recommend you call him. That's one of his little guarded secrets. So call Dreamcatchers Fishing. He's going to tell you about the paint that will work on hollow body frogs. And it's not Sally Hansen, by the way. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Jake Harshman said, "Can someone take me fishing during that Ike charity tournament?" I'm really mad. I'm not really mad at him. He told people about the St. Lawrence. Shadow Basson's mad at you too. Yeah, sound off, everybody. Who's mad at Travis?
Who's mad at me?
Let's see. Well, we're gonna find out.
Yeah.
If you're mad at Travis about something, sound off right now. And if you're mad at me for some reason, you can sound off right now too.
I expect that from a chick, not fucking Ryan. That's all I'm saying.
Here's the thing.
By the way, if your Z-Man swim bait looks like that, you got problems. I've been twisting and turning all night.
All night. That's kind of like your insides. I think that's how your gut feels because this thing is really eating at you, man.
It's not that bad. It's annoying that he just won't call me back.
You can't. Mad at Travis. Okay. Jake Harshman, mad at Travis for following my wife back before me. That's pure Travis. Hella Bass, mad as hell. Brandon, mad as hell. PBG Flex Paint. Thank you, Kyle. I'm out. Shadow Basson's out. Let's see. Travis didn't send me my boat, and I bought it months ago. I'm pissed I didn't get a scarf. SmallmouthCrush, that was a sexist comment. LMAO. Mad Grab shaves his knuckles. I'm pissed Eric has so many cranks. Epic Eric, I'm kind of pissed you haven't come fishing. Brian B's pissed at me. Thank you. I'm pissed at myself. I'm mad he's turning up the bottle tonight. You guys rock. Thanks, Joshua. I'm mad at Travis for hoarding all the tinfoil. These are awesome. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Kevin Stone, Eric, I bought some custom baits on eBay. Nice paint jobs, but knockoff baits, they work as well. Cool. This is awesome.
I don't know.
Charles Poling, I'm mad at Travis hadn't taken me fishing yet. Brandon Cushall can say he's jealous of Eric's tackle collection. One of my beavers had a kink when I won the auction. I'm mad.
I need another White Claw, but I should. It's almost 11.
Bill Dance is really pissed off.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Oh, Brian B. I'm not even reading that one. I'm mad at Eric for not painting me any crankbaits. Jake Harshman. There's a lot of angry people out there, man.
Jeez.
I think Austin is a clone. Pissed I haven't seen a Rebel We Are. All right. Christian Dust wants to know, someone fill me in on who's mad at who.
Oh, shit. I'm not mad at anybody.
Chris Rickard says he's pissed at EE for making me go on a wild goose chase for sun perch. Oh, my God. That's hysterical.
Sean's mad for one
St. Chris is mad at me for spending hundreds of dollars at Ichiban. Like my beaver's a little kinky. This is good stuff.
John goes, I found a White Claw can in my yard. Thought Travis was stalking me.
Automates I'll probably never use for St. Chris. That's awesome. Woo! Oh my gosh. When Travis pisses in the sink, does he do it sitting down?
Oh, by the way, I got to show you a message. Did you get the message from BTC, Brian the Carpenter?
No, what did he do, man?
I don't think he'll be mad at me for sharing this. Maybe. I laughed so hard, dude. This is what... I open up my Instagram to a message from BTC.
All right. What do you got?
Okay, ready? I'm going to try to show on the camera. It's a beer can, and then see what happens next. Okay? Eric, look at this. Ready?
All right. Yep. What the hell, BTC?
Oh, look at this message I get from him, dude.
That's a message from PTC. Oh, my God. What the hell?
What does that mean?
Woo.
Dude, I lost it when he sent me that. I go, dude, I'm like, what the fuck?
What the heck, man? Wow.
So funny story, guys. So we had Brian the Carpenter on last weekend, and actually all of us were drinking, even Eric, towards the end of the night.
I did. I had a drink.
You had a Captain and Coke, and things got fuzzy. Things were said that maybe not. I just didn't want it to be like everlasting on the internet. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
And so I decided not to post that show the next day. And so I get text messages. So here's a text message I get. Oh, I guess I erased them. Yeah, I think I did. Because you guys were going back and forth. So everybody's like, oh, BTC goes, I got a headache this morning. I can't remember what we talked about. And I was up at 6, by the way. BTC got up at like 9:30. And then Eric chimes in, getting up at 11 a.m.
I stayed up till like 3:30 or 4 that
Eric's
morning.
like, I just got up. It's like 11. I'm like, oh my God.
I woke up at like 7:30 and then went back to sleep, man. Yeah, definitely. That was, I was totally tired, man. Sure. I watched a movie.
Yeah.
After, you guys probably crashed out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Corey Powell said I had a sip. That's right. I had one drink. It was good, man. Smoothed me out. Needed it after that crazy episode.
Yes.
Dang.
It's live in our minds.
That's right, Corey. I tried to be responsible. No question about it. Eric Cage. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, we talked in the driveway till 2:30. That's right, B. Brian Breezemeister called me up after that show, man. He called me up. He knew I needed some talk, man. That was really, I welcome that, man. I was really, really happy to hear a friendly voice. No question, man. I was on time, Brian Breezemeister from Bass Alarm in the house tonight.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Oh, shit. All right, let's shut her down so I can go to bed.
Yeah, man. Get some sleep, bro, Haas. That's right. That's right.
All right, no epic ending tonight.
No,
How did we end the BTC show? Was I mad?
Yeah, you pushed the button.
But why was I mad? I don't remember.
I was probably getting in your ass a little bit.
About what?
About showing Ryan's grass bed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you had it, man. You were just done with it.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's why we ended the show, over Ryan's grass bed.
That's what I'm going on record for.
Fair enough. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. We will be back this weekend, probably either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. We haven't decided yet. And then, of course, every Tuesday for sure, 8:30 Eastern.
Don't forget.
I got some good guests coming up.
To like and comment on the video.
Yeah, we had a lot of good views tonight.
Yeah, what do we get? What do we get up to, bro?
389. Oh, and guys that sent...
We're still trying to break the Buzzbait episode record, man.
Guys that sent donations to the PayPal during the Brian the Carpenter, I saw all the comments. They made me freaking laugh a day or two after as I was going through it all. First of all, I'm struggling, guys, with my social media. Instagram, Facebook. If you haven't heard back from me.
Hey, how's it going advertising for that intern for SmallmouthCrush?
Yeah.
I mean, you realize there are thousands of college grads that are about to graduate with marketing degrees, and some that would probably love to bass fish that would be dying to donate their time unpaid for a shot at being.
Oh, by the way, Sean sent $10 to the PayPal. I appreciate it, Sean.
Are you hearing anything?
Yes, I heard you, and I want to say that.
So, if anybody would like to apply for the SmallmouthCrush marketing internship position, we're opening up. You'd be directing his social media, responding to all of his comments. You might have other responsibilities. Probably, if you have some YouTube editing skills, that might be helpful. You have to be able to vacuum his garage at least 4 times a day.
Dude, I'm not Scott Martin. I can't afford $50,000 a year to pay for someone to follow me around with a fucking video camera. I heard you. I'm just saying.
You confuse me.
The problem is I can't. I'm to the point,
You're
guys.
So hard to
listen,
help.
Eric. I had a shit ton of troubles.
What am I listening to?
Because you get on me. I'm guiding, and Eric texts me, hey, are you going to promote the show for tonight? So I'm on my phone, and I don't know how to set up the right pixels for an Instagram story on my phone. So, I have all these ideas, and I'd like to promote the show and do little video clips. So I get home, dead-ass tired, got to do shit, and now I got to sit here and look at the last video with Austin to take some cool clips and maybe put something together for Instagram to promote the show. But
that's what the intern does for you unpaid.
Yes, Eric. And then listen, honestly,
are there any college anglers watching tonight that would like to apply?
Eric, I get 10 guys asking me on Instagram something every day, which is fine. And then I look at it, and if I'm fishing, I look at it and it says read, and then guess what? It slips away from me. Or Facebook. Oh, or that guy that wants the thumper blades. I got to get back to him.
What this got to do with what we're talking about?
It's right at this point in my life, it's very hard for me to get back to everybody's comments. So if I don't get back to you, it's not that I hate you.
This is a whole nother topic.
Okay. What?
We're talking about hiring an unpaid intern to help you out with all the problems you just talked about. Are you interested in learning?
I'd rather have someone just get back to messages and help promote the show.
That's good. That's the major responsibility, is helping the social media be promoted properly prior to shows.
Yes.
That person could reach out to people that, we might like to book, find interesting things to talk about.
Mm-hmm. I know. Yes. I do have a lot of interesting things I want to talk about, Eric. I do. They
could actually print up a show schedule for you.
They
could help create a spreadsheet. They could do inventories in your baits.
Yes.
Interested?
Uh-huh.
You might want to read these last few comments later on when you have a minute.
Half hour. When's the half hour, Sean?
You're impossible.
I get back from guiding. I'm cleaning snakeheads. I'm trying to get ready for the show.
Cleaning fish could be part of the responsibility.
Eric, I had to rig freaking rods during the show tonight.
You know what?
Tomorrow.
They're going to have to be able to tie Crazy Alberto, man. Come on.
Yes.
They rig the rods while you're doing the show. What else?
That'd be nice, dude. Honestly, Eric, listen to me. My dream, if I was to win like $50 million, okay?
$50 million. All right, here we go. $50 million. What's your life?
I have my palace. I have my big shed. I have my walleye boat, my bass boat, my backup bass boat. Right?
Yes. I've seen the plans for your house. Yes. You showed me the drawings.
Okay, but
pencil and paper.
Now I have a guy like Jimmy, or someone I pay.
Jimmy?
Yeah.
Jimmy who?
Big time Jimmy.
He's out. You got to find somebody else.
I would pay him $100,000 a year. Okay.
Jimmy, if you're out there listening secretly, Travis, if he wins $50 million, you now have $100K a year, and I promise you, Jimmy's going to go, no fucking way.
Ain't
enough.
He's on my payroll, So all he does is he cleans the boat, cleans the truck, okay? Make sure the tire pressure's good. If I got to get an oil change, sends it in for oil change. He rigs my rods. He gets all my tackle organized. All my tackle warehouse orders.
The fact that you're saying Jimmy Big Time right now is almost insulting. I can't believe you picked him.
I would love to have Jimmy on my team, dude. He should be on my payroll. For sure.
Jimmy's not working for you. Not in a million fucking years.
For 6 figures a year to rig some tackle?
Not a chance.
Oh, come on, Eric.
You don't have a chance in hell against Jimmy Big Time.
I guarantee everybody watching this for $100,000 a year would rig my freaking rods for a guide trip, put oil in my truck, and wash my windshields, and vacuum my boat, and get it perfect.
I'm not saying there aren't people out there that would love that job. It's just not going to be Jimmy Big Time. I hate to crush your dreams.
I think he would take it.
We'll see.
If not, we got other people in line, but I'm saying.
I'm sure you would have a very big line.
I would love to have that, dude. Switch my DTs over to triple grips, take the hooks off. Just stuff like that. Sure. Someone to manage my shit.
Right.
That's just a
no. I hear you loud and clear. You got a clear vision of what you want. When you get that $50 million, you're going to make a hire, but it won't be Jimmy Big Time.
Okay.
I'm here to tell you, he's untouchable.
Whatever, man.
No, for you, he's untouchable for sure. Not happening. I know Jimmy Big Time, man. I talked to him straight for a year, every single day. It ain't Jimmy Big Time. Not a chance in hell. Not for $200K.
Christian said she'd do it for $75.
You got your first time. There you go.
Sean goes 1,000% insulting.
Jimmy Big Time.
Sean goes, I'd shave your toes for $100K. Nothing's wrong with Jimmy. I had a guy trip earlier this week, and the guy, we're just fishing, and we're talking, and it was silent for 10 minutes. We're just chucking chatterbaits. He turns, and
he goes, what did you do to Jimmy Big Time?
Yes, he turns to me. He goes, so what happened with you and Jimmy? I'm like, I told the story. Nothing. Eric made up a big story about things.
Do you want me to just bust out and say it right now?
Don't
make me expose.
I told him the whole story.
You're about to piss
I
me
told
off.
him about the auction.
Why don't you tell everybody watching right now what happened then? Because if you don't, I will. You're trying to make me look bad.
I did not.
Dude. No, you go ahead and say it right now or I'm gonna.
Hey.
Right now.
Guys, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
You owe
and as always, until next time, we'll see you on the water.
Deal.